you heard it. They called tails. It was head. Andrew Thomas says, we're going to defer. They're going to take the football to start it. So, Scott, you know what they say. The Commodores haven't been the same since Lionel Richie left. Let's get it on.
All right, Chuck. Thanks very much. Rodrigo Blankenship ready to kick it away to Vanderbilt. He'll be doing the duty from right to left. Jamari Wakefield and Josh Crawford are the return men. Crawford on the north end of the stadium and Wakefield closest to the booth. They both stand on the hash on the goal line as we are ready to get this one underway. And here we go. Rod's kick long and deep, end over end. Going to land about 3 yards over the back line of the end zone, caught by one of the managers for Georgia. And it's a touchback. So Vanderbilt will have the football, 1st and 10 on its 25-yard line. And a reminder that Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day and to your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more.
Expect multiple looks from this Vandy offense. Different personnel groupings, different formations, and a lot of motion. They want to be balanced, but they're going to rely heavily on the right arm of Kyle Shermer as well.
Shermer, 6'4", 225, a senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the son of an NFL head coach. He works out of the shotgun. One man in the backfield. Shermer will throw. We bat it down immediately. Big Walter Grant got in there and batted it down from the left edge. Grant at 6'4", sophomore from Cairo, Georgia, came running in from the left edge, jumped in the air, got both arms up, and batted the pass down incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Vanderbilt.
Dog showed cover 2, disguised. That Sam Dog. And he came right at the very last minute. Vandy's running back completely whiffed on him, allowed him to get his big arms up there and knock it down. Good play by Walter Grant.
Shermer will work under center this time. The lone setback is Vaughn. He'll get the handoff. Vaughn bounces out left to the 30, chased out of bounds on the Vanderbilt sideline. A couple of Bulldogs getting tangled up in some of the Vanderbilt players on the sideline. Richard LeCount hit him first, and J.R. Reed over there as well, but the gain is almost 7 up to the 32-yard line before they finally got him out of bounds. Keyshawn Vaughn, a 5'10 junior from Nashville, but he's a transfer from Illinois.
Now, Vaughn was able to kick that outside. It looked like DeAndre Walker got held a little bit. He had contained and just couldn't get off of a block.
There's a 7-yard gain. It's 3rd down and 3 for Vanderbilt. First possession of the ball game. They're on their own 32-yard line, moving to the right. Shermer back in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. He's going to throw to the left. It's batted at the line of scrimmage again. The Dogs tipped it. This time Tyler Clark got a piece of that ball and knocked it askew, and it flutters to the ground incomplete. It'll be 4th down for Vanderbilt. A batted pass by Grant and now one by Tyler Clark on Georgia's first defensive series. They like the way that starts, and the Commodores will kick it away with Parker Tomey, 6'4" graduate student from Hortonville, Wisconsin. He'll kick it to Mecole Hardman, or we'll see if he'll kick it to Mecole. Hardman is the deep receiver, stands on Georgia's 23.
A good job. Tyler Clark actually got in and got pressure. Typically you see those batted balls when you get stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, but not so there.
Tomey's punt, low and going to bounce. Hit on the 25, bounce to Hardman. Fields it at the 18, coming to the near side to the 30. Flags down behind him. Hardman stumbles, jumps over a blocker trying to go low and out of bounds around the 45, but a couple of flags behind the play, and more than likely that's going to come back. Probably blocks in the back. 52-yard punt, 29-yard return on that play, and we'll check and see exactly what the flags are. Hubert Owens is our referee as they discuss it. A couple of the other officials picked up the flags and placed them right at the 30-yard line. Here's Hubert Owens with the explanation.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 87, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that's going to mark it back 10 yards from the 30 to the 20. Southwest Airlines has low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. And we're going to go to a destination we like, the Cooks Pest Control sideline. That's where Chuck Dowdle is. Chuck.
Yeah, guys, you know, Shermer is 6'4", and we batted down 2 passes at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what that says about his delivery, but it ain't good.
Maybe our lineman got some ups.
Well, in both cases, we had closed the gap on Shermer, so very close in proximity to him. So just had to stick a big arm up there.
Dogs on 1st and 10 from the 20. Play fake by Fromm to Holyfield. He'll whip the ball over to Hardman instead, who's twisted around, does a 360 at the 25, stays on his feet for another yard to the 26, stopped by Frank Kopp at the safety. A 5'11" redshirt sophomore from Fort Lauderdale for Vanderbilt. The gain is 6 up to the 26. 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Dogs.
Vandy has shown a lot of zone coverage so far throughout this year. True to form there. They just came out in a zone look. We go quick game and just hit a quick slant.
Riley, Ridley, and Hardman to the right. And Fromm's going to lollipop one to the near side, thrown to Godwin, but the ball landed about 10 yards downfield as Godwin looks to the sideline as if perhaps there was some confusion on his route or the throw by Fromm. It's an incomplete ball, and it'll be 3rd down quickly for the Dogs. 3rd and 4 from the 26.
Looked like a run-pass option there, and Godwin got confused. He was actually blocking a man downfield. Fromm got up and had the look that he wanted. Single coverage on the outside, had a lot of room on the sideline to loft it up, but just not on the same page.
DeAndre Swift checks in the backfield. He'll go out for a pass. Fromm will throw in Godwin's direction. It's broken up from behind by Juwan Williams, a 6'3" junior from Nashville. Tight man coverage on that corner. Batted the ball away from Terry Godwin. The pass is incomplete, and Georgia goes 3 and out to start the ball game. And on 4th down, we'll send in Jake Camarda, the freshman from Norcross, to punt it away.
Dogs, again, got what they wanted. Single safety. That ball thrown a little too far upfield. We try to go back shoulder and just a stop route to Godwin. That ball thrown on his inside shoulder, which allowed the deflection to take place.
Trey Ellis, the deep man for Vanderbilt, stands on his 30. Camarda to punt it away. Flags down. The kick is in the air. It's a wobbler. Going to come down nose first, spinning. And running up to make the catch around the 38-yard line on the Georgia sideline is Ellis, where he steps out of bounds there. And another flag down back on Georgia's end of the field. That punt 36 yards. No return. May have come off the side of the foot by the freshman punter.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the return. 1st down.
That's a problem that Tennessee had several times last week. Georgia has that issue tonight. So they mark off 5, give Vanderbilt the ball to 43. Along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard with you here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth at Sanford Stadium. Tonight's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. Commodores with the ball on their own 43-yard line when play comes back in. Both teams offensively went 3 and out on their first possessions, as the Commodores have excellent field position on a short punt by Georgia and then a 5-yard penalty tacked on to that. So they start 1st and 10 at their own 43. Shermer under center, sends Pinckney, the tight end, in motion to the left, and will hand it off to Keyshawn Vaughn's got a hole middle of the field to the 50 in Georgia territory. 40, slants to the right, 30, near sideline 20, and steps out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Richard LeCount got him from behind and pulled him down by the shoulder pads, forced him out of bounds at the 14-yard line. That was a very good run and a huge gaping hole created by the Commodores offensive line, Z.
Yeah, it was. It was a great cutback there by Vaughn. That play was designed to go off tackle. Huge cutback lane. He was able to get inside DeAndre Walker, and then he was off to the races.
Vaughn had 146 yards last week in their win over Tennessee State. A 43-yard run there. Handoff. Commodores run it straight down the hash mark. And that's Jamari Wakefield, who checked in to get his first carry of the night. A 6'1" redshirt sophomore, 220 from Jacksonville. Jonathan Ledbetter and Jawan Taylor make the stop at the 11-yard line, middle of the field. Commodores with a 2nd down coming up. 2nd down and about 7 to go for Vanderbilt as they threaten to score for the first time. They're on the Georgia 11-yard line. Shermer walks up behind the center. They've got a Bruno Reagan is the center tonight. Egidio Della Ripa was injured last week, so a substitute center tonight. And this is Wakefield again, driving straight ahead on the carry to the 5-yard line, hit by the linebacker Jawan Taylor for Georgia. And the gain is 6 down to the 5. and it's going to be 3rd and a yard for Vanderbilt. Dogs trying to defend the goal line here early in the first quarter. 11:35 remaining, first period, no score, but the Commodores with a serious threat here in the first period.
And another cutback run. That play again designed to go to the left side of that Vandy offensive line. This time Wakefield cuts it back and finds some running room. A good tackle there by the Dogs to thwart the touchdown run, but way too much running room.
Commodores spending a lot of time in the huddle. As you heard the referee Hubert Owens tell you, they want a timeout. So they'll discuss it here with 11:17 to go in the first quarter. Georgia nothing, Vanderbilt nothing. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Tonight's first half broadcast presented by M-Better. Better is taking charge of my health. Scoreless here in the first quarter for Georgia and Vanderbilt, but the Commodores are threatening. Georgia has played 20 quarters of football this season and has not played from behind one single solitary down, but they're in danger of that happening right now as the Commodores are 3rd and 1 on the Georgia 5-yard line. Dogs defensively with Michael Barnett and Clark and Rochester and Walker on the defensive edge. Grant sneaks up on the line too. Shermer under center on 3rd and 1. Oh, we ate him up in the backfield. Tyler Clark just gobbled up Curry Blasingame and swallowed him whole back at the 7.5. Wow. Did he explode through the line of scrimmage, Z?
Did he ever time the snap count absolutely perfectly, split the gap, and then just destroyed the Commodores in the backfield.
Wow, what a play. Tyler Clark, loss of 3 back to the 8. They'll try a field goal with Riley Gay, a 5'10 junior from Naperville, Illinois, 4 of 8 on the season, just 1 for 3 kicking field goals last week. This is pretty much a chip shot, however, from the 16, a 26-yard try between the hashes, kicking to the right, and the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Commodores have the lead 3-0 with 10:30 to go here in quarter number 1. So the Dogs behind. We trail for the first time this season, but it could have been a lot worse, save for Tyler Clark's big play on 3rd down and a yard, forcing the Commodores to try a short field goal.
Yeah, a couple of big runs there by Vandy to get them in position. The poor punt gave them very good field position to start that drive. The one cutback run by Vaughn that got them down inside the red zone, then follow that up with another one. Dogs defense stiffened, obviously, after that.
Yeah, Vanderbilt goes 50 yards in 5 plays. The big play on that possession was Keyshawn Vaughn's 43-yard run to set up the field goals. A 25-yard kick by Riley Gay, the walk-on kicker. Took 2:41 off the clock, and it's the Commodores 3-0 here in the first quarter. The Champions for Charity game is on. Every time Georgia wins, Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, and Children's Health Care of Atlanta will win, because Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities. And for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas. Gay to kick it away for Vanderbilt. Mecole Hardman, the deep man, in the end zone. Kick towards the middle of the end zone will land about halfway deep. Hardman will watch it bounce. They'll blow it dead. It's a touchback. Dogs will have the ball 1st and 10 at our own 25-yard line, trailing for the first time this season 3-0. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Offense back out on the field now as we check the Comcast Business scoreboard. Auburn with a 3-0 lead on Mississippi State about halfway through the first quarter in Starkville. Dogs moving to the left, play fake from. He'll set up in the pocket, all kinds of time to throw, going deep. He's going for Godwin. Godwin is there, over the shoulder catch at the 30, down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10. They tried to strip the ball. He stays on his feet. He avoids a man at the 3 and gets into the end zone. Touchdown on a terrific finish by Terry Godwin.
The terrific finish by Godwin, no question about that, but you can't throw a better football. Hit him in stride on the deep post and allowed him to run, making amends for a first series that wasn't the best for Terry Godwin. Boy, did he make up for it there. And the offensive line gave Jake Fromm all day to throw that football.
75 yards on the touchdown throw. He broke a tackle of Jawan Williams, who was trying to strip the ball instead of getting him on the ground. Terry spun away from that and then got past Donovan Sheffield into the end zone for the longest play of the season by Georgia. That touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. And here's Blankenship for the point after try, which is up and good. Rodrigo with consecutive extra point number 117 as he closes in on the school record held by Blair Walsh. It's 7-3. Well, Georgia answered that bit of adversity, Z, being behind for the first time in one play, 75 yards.
Yeah, we've been behind for all of what now, 10 seconds maybe on the game clock. No doubt a great answer there by the Dogs offensively, and Dogs like something they've seen here in preparation coming into this football game, throwing the football first 4 snaps from the line of scrimmage, all passes. That one obviously stretching the field downtown. We had Mecole Hardman on a deep crossing route. As a matter of fact, it was J.J. Holloman, I think, on a deep crossing route that Fromm wanted to go to. That was taken away. Fromm kind of got to the post late, but enough arm strength and enough accuracy to put it on the money, and Dogs strike and answer quick.
One play, 75 yards. Fromm to Godwin took 15 seconds. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. 7-3 Georgia, our new score. And Rodrigo Blankenship with the pink slippers will kick it away from right to left once again. Gets his foot into this one, lifts it high, end over end, into the air, and lands about 7 yards deep in the end zone. Commodores will walk away from it. The ball is blown dead, and it's a 25-yard line start for the Commodores offense on the touchback. Better buckle up because SiriusXM is 0 to everything in 150 channels. Commercial-free music plus entertainment, comedy, news, and of course coverage of every major sport, including the Georgia Bulldogs. So tune in and let's ride. Well, that was a terrific answer by the Dogs. 75-yard bomb to electrify Sanford Stadium. First night game of the season, and the fans are ready for it. 1st and 10 Commodores on their own 25. Shermer under center. Rolls to the right, play fake, sets up and throws. And it's caught over on the far sideline by Jamari Wakefield, and up the sideline he goes. That's a pretty big gainer on first down, all the way up to the 45-yard line. A 20-yard gain on a short little pass out into the left flat, see?
Well, 3-man route there by Vandy. They were trying to stretch the field vertically. That was just Shermer's check down, getting it to Wakefield on the sideline. Dogs got lost a little bit in coverage, which allowed Wakefield to be so open there on the sideline.
Gain is actually 21. They spot the ball on the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Commodores. Whistles blowing, and a timeout was called before the snap. Georgia may have called time before the snap of the ball. Hondo says we had 13 guys out playing defense. I don't see a flag, but I heard the whistles, and they blew the play dead. Now, is there going to be a penalty on the Dogs after the fact because there's no flag on the field as the officiating crew discusses it? Let's check in with Chuck on the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. Chuck?
Yeah, I think they're trying to decide did Vanderbilt make a late substitution?
No foul for substitution infraction. Offensive double formation. Timeout. Georgia. The first time out of the half.
Well, we probably don't want that timeout now. We were calling that because we had 13 guys on the field, but that's the right call there by the referees. Late substitution. We have to have time to substitute as well.
9:40 first quarter, 7-3. Georgia leading Vanderbilt. We'll take a break. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Well, the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth is where all this noise is emanating here at Sanford Stadium. 9:40 to go first quarter. Georgia leads Vanderbilt 7-3. Tonight's first half broadcast presented by M-Better. Better is taking charge of my health. 1st down and 10 for the Commodores on their own 46-yard line. Shermer up to the line of scrimmage, now back to set up in the shotgun. They'll go empty. 3 receivers left and 2 to the right for Vanderbilt. Snap is low and off to the left. Flag down on the pass play. It's complete at the 42 and clobbered in the back is Kalijah Lipscomb, the SEC's leading receiver, hit hard by Richard LeCount, but a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
I think we jumped early. They're probably going to wave that off.
Defense, number 51. Penalty is refused. Result of the play is the first down.
Well, you were correct, Z, and Lipscomb feeling the effects of that hit by LeCount, but the news for the Commodores, they've got the ball on the Georgia 41-yard line.
Yeah, and as promised, a lot of different formations, a lot of different personnel groupings, creating some confusion right now for the Georgia defense.
That was a 13-yard gain. They'll run it this time with Wakefield. He started to run right behind center, and then he hesitated and tried to cut to the right, but Natrez Patrick fills the gap and swallows him at the 40-yard line. The gain was only a yard for Wakefield, a redshirt sophomore for the Commodores from Jacksonville, Florida. So it's second down and a long 8, short 9. Ball's on the 40 of the Bulldogs. Commodores trail 7-3 here in the first quarter.
Better job there by the Dogs at the point of attack. Defensive line really just created a stalemate at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes blitz with Rice. They're chasing Shermer. He's going to unload it off his back foot. It lands incomplete downfield at the 28. Shermer ends up on the seat of his pants. Jared Pinckney was the target downfield, but I don't think the Vanderbilt quarterback had a chance to see him. All he saw was number 32 flying through the gap, Z, and he just had to unload it.
Yeah, another well-timed blitz there by the Dogs, and I love that call too. I don't think Vandy can hang with us if we apply pressure throughout the course of this football game, and we are strong enough on the outside to be able to man up and stay with these Vandy receivers.
Commodores 2 men to the right, 1 to the left. Shermer back in the shotgun, having to tell Blasingame where he needs to line up. Shotgun snap on 3rd down and 8. He'll throw it and incomplete, overthrew his target, and the ball lands around the 19-yard line. Kalijah Lipscomb was just standing at the 25-yard line on the near hash as the ball went sailing over his head. Brenton Cox had good pressure upfield on Shermer. May have forced the overthrow to the right. It's an incomplete ball, and it's 4th down for Vanderbilt. And here comes Parker Tomey to kick it away, and Mecole Hardman to go back. Or is that Godwin? No, that's Terry back on the 10. So Godwin is back to receive it at the 10-yard line.
Fantastic disguise there by the Dogs. Looked like they were going to bring pressure to the left of Vandy, backed out, and then brought the house from the right side of Vandy's offensive line.
Tomey's punt will land in the air right on the goal line and roll through the end zone for a touchback. And the Dogs will have the ball at the 20-yard line, leading Vanderbilt with 8:25 to go first quarter by a score of 7-3. And right now, 1 in 4 car batteries is about to fail, so think ahead and have yours tested for free at your local Advance Auto Parts. If you purchase a new battery, they'll install it at no cost. Check your battery now, because Georgia fans don't stall out on game day. Think ahead, think Advance at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details. Dogs 1st and 10 on the 20, leading 7-3. They'll send it out to the right on the throw to Mecole Hardman, trying to set up a screen out to the right. And he's going to be shoved back after gaining forward progress up to the 23-yard line. Had a couple of blockers out there, but the Commodores had too many defenders, led by Dimitri Moore, a linebacker from Cedar Hill, Texas, leading the charge for the Vanderbilt defense. The gain is 3 to the 23. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Dogs.
Well, that's a pretty bad spot, too. Mecole got about 6 yards and then started getting pushed back. They didn't blow the whistle, and he tried to reverse course and then got met by a host of Commodores, but nothing more there than just a little bubble screen on the outside into trips formation.
Got a bunch formation left in edge of the line of scrimmage. We'll run it with Swift, and Swift spins off the right side at right tackle up the hash mark close to the 30, and beyond it he got the 1st down. Ball just across the 30-yard line. Linebacker Jordan Griffin makes the tackle for the Commodores. He's their leading tackler on the team, 4th in the SEC. Swift with a 1st down run brought to you by Scana Energy. 1st and 10 Dogs from the 30.
Zone play there by the Dogs. Good patience by Swift, and a nice block by Charlie Warner leading the way on that one.
So Fromm drops back in the shotgun. Swift stays in the ball game just behind Fromm's left shoulder. Werner moves from right to left edge. Play fake Swift, and a throw to Hardman with guys draped all over. The pass is incomplete. Here come flags at that play, and also 2 flags in the Georgia backfield. So we're probably going to have offsetting fouls here on this particular play.
Vandy went cover 1, just a quick slant where Jake was trying to get the football into Mecole, and I think they're going to call roughing the passer as well. I think they hit Jake Fromm in the head. All
right, so we may have multiple fouls on Vanderbilt then, as Hubert Owens is the referee, and he's discussing it with his officiating crew. If that's the case,
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 10, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And that violation of a personal foul roughing the passer on one of the Odangbo brothers for Vanderbilt. Dio Odangbo, 6'6", 265, sophomore from Irving, Texas. And the result of the penalty is a Scana Energy first down. Dogs will work from their own 45-yard line. Ball just inches across the 45, as a matter of fact. 1st and 10, Georgia, leading 7-3. Under 7 minutes to go in the quarter. Fromm with time to throw. Slings it out to the right to DeAndre Swift, who catches it at the 44 and is tackled at the 45 immediately by linebacker Josh Smith on the Vanderbilt sideline. And the gain is not much at all. In fact, it's nothing. Right at the no gain on the play, as the ball is in the exact same spot on that throw.
Dogs are getting a heavy dose right now at cover 1, so single safety, man-to-man outside, which is why we're trying to throw the football as much as we are. Jake just saw a flash of white there, which made him get the football out of his hands quick.
Fromm rolls to the right and just slings it out of bounds into the Vandy sideline. Had 4 receivers in the formation, and Jake immediately running to the right saw nothing with what he wanted to do and just got rid of the football before any threat came upon him. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now on that intentional incomplete pass. Ball back on the 45.
Well, Vandy brought the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, and the strong side linebacker on that play. We didn't have it picked up, which is why Jake flushed so quick out of the pocket.
Shotgun snap to Fromm. He spins the ball in his hand, fires down the middle of the field. Sliding catch is caught. It's made by Riley Ridley at the Commodore 40-yard line. Gain of 15 and another Scana Energy first down. The Dogs move back into Commodore territory. They'll move the sticks and begin work there at the 40, 1st and 10.
3rd and long. The Commodores went cover 2, only rushed 4. Dogs pick that up just fine and give Jake all kinds of time to find Ridley.
Back up to the line of scrimmage. Lamont Gilliard over the ball, ready to put it in play. Swift in the backfield. DeAndre will get the carry. Tries to bounce out to the right. Too many white shirts there, led by Dare Odangbo, the other brother, 6'2", from Irving, Texas. Makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. In fact, it'll be 2nd and 10 as we head down to the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. And Chuck Dowdle. Chuck.
Scott, you're going to find this hard to believe. It's starting to rain down here. And having watched the South Carolina game, I may see you guys shortly.
No, you have to stay. You don't have rain gear, and you're wearing a brand new Bulldog shirt, which looks good. 2nd and 10 from the Commodore 40. Fromm will throw it out to the right to Swift. He's breaking tackles in front of the Commodore bench. Down the far sideline, inside the 35, down to the 31.5, maybe close to the first down marker, as a matter of fact. Boy, there was a crowd of folks over there, and I don't know how Swift was stepping over it and breaking tackles, but he did. He got 9 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a yard to go on the Commodore, just inside 31-yard line.
Well, you can't defend that much better if you're the Commodores, but then you can't tackle much worse.
Good point. Harrion checks into the ball game. Fromm goes under center. Commodores jump off sides, and here come flags.
Ball start. Offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That was on Ridley. And Riley comes out of the ball game, and it's a little bit of a earful from the head coach, Kirby Smart. Well, that backs us up 5, back to the Commodore 36-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 6 from there for the Bulldogs as we substitute. Swift just came out, and Harrion goes back in, and Harrion will line up in an empty set. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and now Georgia has to burn another timeout.
Georgia. Second time out of the half.
We were running out of time making those late substitutions, so we'll call a time and get everything straightened out. 5-yard touchdown pass from Jake Fromm to Terry Godwin to give the Dogs the 7-3 lead, and that's where we stand here with 4:07 to go in quarter number 1. Dogs 3rd down and 6 coming up from the Commodore 36-yard line. Comcast Business scoreboard. Alabama clobbered Arkansas 65-31. Texas trimmed Oklahoma in the Red River shootout there 48-45. field goal with about 9 seconds left to win it for the Longhorns. Florida defeated LSU a little while ago, 27-19. Here we go, 3rd down and 6 for the Dogs. Fromm back in the shotgun. Swift offset to his left. Fromm will throw it to DeAndre. Flag down in the vicinity of the lineman. The pass is caught by Swift in the backfield. He's up to the 35. And now Georgia has a player shaken up. Solomon Kinley slow to get up. Let's check the flag. Donovan Sheffield made the tackle on Swift out here on the near side on that throw. But Kinley being tended to by Georgia's medical staff. We've already got one man down, Ben Cleveland. And now Kinley is shaken up on this play.
And Dogs staying out on the field right now. We'll see what the penalty flag is. But good coverage on that play downfield by the Commodores forced us to throw it underneath the sticks with really no place to go. Obviously concerns right now with Big Solly.
They haven't addressed the penalty marker yet, which is sitting squarely on the 40-yard line of Vanderbilt right now. Well, the gain on the play was a yard to the 35. Hubert Owens checking on the far sideline.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 71. 15-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Well, that's on our left tackle, Andrew Thomas. And that'll back us up to about midfield. If you know someone who makes an impact on their community, Team UGA, presented by Georgia Power, is now accepting nominations for members who demonstrate an unselfish giving attitude. You can submit your nominations at georgiadogs.com. Kinley is still down. He's sitting up, but still on the grass. And now 5 members of the training and medical staff are around him, and they're going to have to bring the card out.
Yeah,
that's
never
rarely a good sign.
That's right.
Let's go down to Chuck on the sidelines. Cook's Pest Control Report. Chuck.
Well, I hate to pile on here with them bringing the card out for Solomon, but on top of that, Lamont Gilliard's gone under the tent with what appeared to be I'm just guessing when he went in, it looked like a hand injury, but I don't know for sure. I will try to get information from the Georgia staff.
Kinley kind of hobbling to the cart. Thanks, Chuck. His left leg, I believe it was the left one. As we were kind of screened out, but he was hobbling on one leg. They have removed the leg brace. And all these linemen wear braces on both legs. It's his right leg, Hondo tells me. So a leg injury of some sort. Don't know, knee, ankle. But it's he's out as they cart him off into the locker room to our left. And now Trey Hill has checked into the ball game, as has Kendall Baker. So Hill will be the new center, as Chuck reported. Lamont Gilliard going into the medical tent, and Kendall Baker will be the left guard. So 2 new linemen on that offensive front for the Dogs on 3rd down and 21 after the penalty. Ball back to the 50-yard line. Dogs got a lot of work to do here on 3rd down. Fromm will throw, pressure from the edges. We'll drop it off to Holyfield on a short dump pass to the right. And Elijah's hit at the 50 and stumbles backwards out of bounds into the Commodore sideline. Ladarius Wiley, the safety, coming up to make the play. And the gain is only a couple to the 48. And what was looking good for a while ended not looking good with injury and penalty and now a punt.
Yeah, probably 2 injuries there. Lamont Gilliard, Solomon Kinley. All that after we were 3rd and 1 and have a false start.
Camarda to punt it. Trey Ellis, the deep man for Vanderbilt, stands on the 10. Camarda will try to pooch it. He bangs it high. It's a wobbler. Going to land on the 5. No, fair catch on the 5. And so Ellis backed up inside his own 10-yard line. Makes the catch at the 5-yard line. We'll take it. That works just as well. 43-yard pooch punt. And the Commodores in a hole on their own 5. No return on the play. And Vanderbilt will come out on the offensive end starting at their own 5-yard line now. Georgia leads at 7-3. 3:11 to go, first quarter. And the Dogs, a couple of offensive linemen down. We'll try to keep you up to date on any news that we get medical related on Solomon Kinley and Lamont Gilliard. Commodores huddle up back on the goal line, Z.
Well, the offensive line position, one of the deepest on the Dogs team. Thank goodness, with all the injuries that we've had and seen already this year, Next man up, becoming the mantra.
No kidding. Handoff by the Commodores. Keyshawn Vaughn, the 5'10 junior from Nashville. Nowhere to go there. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Michael Barnett, the defensive lineman, and Walter Grant, the outside linebacker, and stop him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 2nd down and 10 for the Commodores. Ball is on their own 5-yard line.
Another great push by the Georgia defensive line. Just nowhere for Vaughn to go on that one.
And again, Vaughn starting to emerge for the Commodores as their best running back. 17 carries, 146 yards, had a 78-yard run for a touchdown in their narrow win over Tennessee State last week in Nashville. 2nd and 10 from the 5. They'll run it again, just try to get it out of a hole. Up the far hash. And Tate Crowder makes first contact for the Georgia defense, as the gain may be a couple, close to the 7 when they unpile that stack of bodies. Kari Blassingame.
For the public address announcer, please notify the crowd that they cannot blow whistles from the stands.
And there you are. Well, Hubert Owens just kind of did that, didn't he? Everybody in the stadium can hear him. But Dr. Whitmire will repeat his plea. Can't blow whistles from the stands.
Second time out of the half. Please reset the game clock. 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Hubert Owens said the Commodores called timeout, but they were up to the line of scrimmage ready to snap the football. A little bit of confusion there. Did they call time or not? Well, apparently they did. They're going to take it. Well, we're meandering our way through this first quarter here. 2:20 still to go. The Commodores with a 3rd and 8 coming up after the timeout. 7-3 Georgia leads as we check the Comcast Business scoreboard. Auburn 3, Mississippi State 3 now. Early minutes of the 2nd quarter in Starkville. And right now, if you come in, you can get exceptional offers on all BMWs in stock. Visit one of your Atlanta area BMW centers today for a test drive. Proud to be the official luxury vehicle of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for more offer details. Another SEC score on the Comcast Business scoreboard. Kentucky 7, Texas A&M nothing. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Let's go down to the sidelines. Chuck Dowdle, Cook's Pest Control Report. Chuck?
Well, what I'm hoping is a sign of good news. Lamont Gilliard's out from under the medical tent. He does have ice on his right hand, so the fact that he's staying out here, got the ice on the hand, I think is a good sign. Maybe he'll be able to get back in here pretty soon.
That's a snapping hand, right? He is right-handed. And I see him standing down there in near your vicinity where the tent used to stand. Then they fold it back on the ground. And Lamont trying to ice down the hand without his helmet on. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day and to your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. Commodores 3rd down and 8 in a heap of trouble back on their own 8-yard line. Dogs with an opportunity here to get some good field position if they can hold on this 3rd down try by the Commodores. 4-man front for the Dogs. Shermer back in the shotgun. And Blassingame in the backfield. Shermer from the 3 will throw it. He rifles it down straight down the middle of the field. It's caught by the tight end Pinckney at the 20 for a 1st down.
Pinckney just on an end route there. Dogs were man-to-man. Pretty good coverage, but a bullet thrown by Shermer. Pretty difficult to defend.
Gain of 13 and a 1st down. DeAndre Baker, the senior corner from Miami, makes the stop for Georgia. Big Pinckney, he's kind of a load, 6'4", 255 from Norcross, and one of the favorite targets of Kyle Shermer. So it's 1st and 10 at the Commodore 20 now for Vanderbilt. 1:52 to go first quarter. Shotgun snap to Shermer. Stands in the pocket. Pump fakes. Pulls it down. Now throws. And reaching up in the air at the 25.5 and making the grab is C.J. Bowler. 6'3" freshman receiver from Purvis, Mississippi. Tackled by Baker, who was in the coverage. Ball's at the 26. Gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 for Vanderbilt.
Boy, another well-thrown football there by Shermer. DeAndre Baker, one of the best in the business. 2 plays in a row. He's been draped all over his man, but the ball just thrown in the spot he can't get to.
2nd down 4 for Vanderbilt. They're on their own 26. They move the tight end from left to right. Shermer under center. They'll run the football with Keyshawn Vaughn. He tries to bounce out to the right edge, all the way out to the numbers, angling towards the Georgia sideline. It finally stopped at the 30 by Tyreek McGee. the corner, and Monty Rice, the linebacker. But the gain will be 4 and a first down for the Commodores. They'll move the chains once again. 1st and 10, Vanderbilt from their own 30-yard line as they take their time. Commodores, one of the few teams left in the history of college football that actually goes into a huddle.
Boy, there's no doubt about that, and it slows the game down.
That's what they're trying to do.
From what we typically see, and David Marshall on that play was in the backfield, had a chance to make that tackle, just couldn't get him on the ground.
Commodores on the 30 on the near hash. Here comes pressure. Shermer throws the ball up in the air. It's going to hit the turf. Is it a fumble? They haven't ruled it an incomplete pass, I don't believe. They tossed the beanbag down as if it was a fumble. Recovered, I believe, by Vanderbilt. Cole Clemens, the left guard. Offensive lineman recovering the football at the 25.5 for Vanderbilt. They are ruling that was a fumble and not an incomplete pass, as Crowder and DeAndre Walker were pressuring Shermer. Crowder was twisting the quarterback down to the turf when he unleashed the football. Yeah, they're going to stick with that.
End of the quarter.
They're going to stick with it was a fumble. As you heard Hubert Owens, the quarter has ended. 7-3 is our score after 15 minutes of play. Georgia leading Vanderbilt. Second quarter action coming up right after this timeout on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Year against App State, we ran the ball 8 times in the opening quarter, 9 times against Carolina, 13 against Middle Tennessee State, 10 against Missouri, 11 against Tennessee last week, 2 carries tonight.
Yeah, we've seen something that we want to push the football downfield. Obviously hit the big one to Godwin, but outside of that, we've been a little out of sync. Interesting to see here if we make some adjustments and get back to some ground and pound like we're used to seeing.
Commodore football on the 25, 2nd down and 14 as we start the second quarter. Shermer going to hand it off. Blasingame bursts through the line of scrimmage quickly across the 35 to the 40, still on his feet, breaking tackles up to the 45-yard line. Michael Barnett had to make the tackle way downfield. It's going to be a first down for the Commodores. Blasingame just exploding like we didn't see in the first half. The graduate from Huntsville, Alabama, rips off a big one to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, huge hole just right over the center for Vanderbilt, and Blasingame took off like he was shot out of a rocket there. 2nd and 14, you just can't give that up.
He got 19 on the carry. It's 1st and 10 Vanderbilt from their own 45. Seconds into the second quarter, they trail 7-3. Trying to do something about that now as they approach midfield. They set up a screen to the near side. It's caught at the 42. Blasingame cuts behind the blockers quickly into Georgia territory all the way down to the 33-yard line. Tackle made by Natrez Patrick, the linebacker, down at the Georgia 33.
Boy, Kirby Smart not happy there. We did a good job on Blasingame and get him to cut that back up inside, but zero pursuit for the good guys in red and black.
Right play for Vanderbilt on the defensive call by Georgia. 22-yard gain and a first down for Vanderbilt. Quickly down to the Georgia 33-yard line. 1st and 10 there. Commodores trail 7-3. They'll work out of the pistol now. Vaughn is the tailback. Shermer redirects Pinckney from left to right. Shotgun snap. They hand it to Vaughn. Flag down. Vaughn with a big hole. Another flag down. Vaughn hit at the 20 and another flag down and driven out of bounds into the far sideline. Wow, about 10 or 15 yards out of bounds. Did they throw a flag on that too? Commodores have a player down back in the backfield, and I think there are at least 3 flags, maybe 4 on that play. Tyson Campbell ended up finishing it up for the Georgia defense, driving Vaughn way out of bounds on the far sideline. And Vanderbilt with a player injured and flags all over the field.
Well, I think they're going to get holding on Vanderbilt, but they're going to get Tyson Campbell for a late hit out of bounds as well.
Jared Pinckney, the very talented tight end from Norcross, is the injured player for the Commodores. Laying flat on his back. Helmet is off. He's being tended to by medical personnel for the Commodores. His teammates will take a knee in his vicinity. Now they'll sit him up. Still on the turf, but at least sitting upright. As let's go down to Chuck Dowdle, Cook's Pest Control. Hang on just a second. We'll get the call from Hubert Owens here.
That penalty is declined. Illegal formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. After the play was over, personal foul. Number 3, unnecessary roughness out of bounds on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Did you hear all that? 2 penalties on the Commodores, and was that a dead ball foul on Georgia on Tyson Campbell?
Yeah, after the play, so it's going to be automatic first down for the Commodores.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go down to Chuck on the sidelines. Cook's Pest Control Report.
Yeah, Scott, I got a quick update for you, and it doesn't sound good to me with Solomon that they won't give me any more information, that the official word is just a right leg injury, and that's all they will say this time. On the other hand, Lamont Gilliard went into the locker room. He is now back out, and I think that's good news, and the ice is off of his hand for the time being.
All right, and the new line of scrimmage, by the way, thanks, Chuck, is the Georgia 23-yard line. After the penalties, you've got a first down there. Chuck working the Cook's Pest Control sidelines tonight. 13:28 to go in the second quarter. And Georgia's lead is 7-3 over Vanderbilt, but being threatened by the Commodores here in the early couple of minutes of quarter number 2. Georgia with a handful of penalties tonight helping the cause. There's another one, but I think Vanderbilt may have had a false start before the snap of the football. Official came running in from the far sideline.
Number 77.
Whipped out that flag in a hurry, the line judge. And I couldn't necessarily hear Hubert Owens on that call. Was it Cochran? Devin Cochran, the right tackle, perhaps. 77, I think is what I heard.
Yeah, I think it was. So a little bit of help there for the Dogs. 1st and 15 now, but boy, pretty sloppy first quarter and start of the second quarter here, really for both teams.
Commodores back on their Dogs 28 now after the 5-yard walk-off. Shermer goes under center. Handoff, Blasingame. Blasingame at left tackle. We'll get a handful of yards to the 26, just a couple, and stopped by a host of Bulldogs led by Jonathan Ledbetter and freshman defensive lineman Jordan Davis from Charlotte, North Carolina. Big kid, 6'6" and 320. Takes up a lot of space there in those gaps. Ball is between the 26 and the 27 of the Bulldogs.
Commodore starting to rack up yardage already. 154 yards on the afternoon, 80 of them on the ground.
Ball on the Georgia 26. Handoff, Blasingame. He stumbles taking the handoff. Patrick makes first contact in the backfield, but Blasingame, I think, was able to keep his feet, or no? Jordan Davis didn't make the stop. Although one of the officials going to spot the ball back at the 28, so maybe the knee touched the ground there on the stop by Patrick. I think it did. That's what they're spotting. So a loss of 2 back to the 28, 3rd and long for the Commodores.
Tyler Clark right now is just dominating the Vanderbilt offensive line, able to get into the backfield on that one. Not in on the play, but he is just a force.
Rochester's in the middle. We've got Jay Hayes in the ball game as well. Shermer going to roll to the right, throw on the run, and it's caught at the 21 by C.J. Bowler. Ball is loose as he was hit around the 14-yard line. Quick pileup may have resulted in covering it up by Vanderbilt. Richard LeCount with the hit and the forced fumble, but the Commodores able to fall on the football. It's close to the first down marker, but not beyond it. So it's going to be 4th down, I believe, for the Commodores. And Georgia has another player shaken up on the far side of the field. That looks like J.R. Reed. He's on his knees with his head on the turf. My goodness, penalties and injuries here in the first half all over the place.
Please reset the game.
I think J.R. Reed was going in. He was in coverage.
11:07. Thank you.
J.R. Reed was initially in coverage there when that ball came out. He tried to jump in on it late and took the brunt of the hit there from a couple of different people. One Vanderbilt Commodore, a couple of Dogs chasing after the ball.
Officials have spotted the ball at the 14-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain, and it's about a yard shy of the first down. It's 4th and 1 for Vanderbilt, but again, an injury timeout for Georgia. J.R. Reed shaken up on the play. Nissan knows game day is all about the game-winning drive, so Rogue has available technologies that'll help make the day's best drive getting to the stadium. Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Now JR is up and will walk off under his own power, flanked by the Georgia medical staff. We check the Comcast Business scoreboard. Notre Dame 7, Virginia Tech nothing. First quarter. Miami rallied past Florida State to win that ball game, 28-27. Mississippi State in a battle of field goals, taking a 6-3 lead on Auburn. They are in the second quarter in Starkville, Kentucky. Texas A&M 7-7, and I think that was at the half. Here it's 7-3 Dogs. Commodores have had the ball forever. 7-3. Georgia leads with 11:07 to go in the second quarter. And we're already down one offensive lineman. Solomon Kinley left the game with a leg injury. He was carted off. That's all we know at this point. Lamont Gilliard had his hand banged up, but should be able to go back in the ball game when we get the ball back. J.R. Reed just shaken up there, but able to walk off under his own power. 4th and 1. Commodores have the offense on the field. Ball on the Georgia 14-yard line. And they'll go for it. Split backfield. Shermer stands between them on the far hash as they move to the left. Send a man in motion. Handoff. Blasingame. He tries to bounce out to the right. We twist him down near the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he got it. I don't think he did. Jordan Davis, the big space eater, 6'6" and 320, wrapped him up around the waist and tried to sling him back. Are they going to measure? Hubert Owens. Yep, they're going to measure. They've spotted the ball just inside the 14-yard line. They need to get to the 13. I think they're going to be short, Z.
Well, by the spot, when you look on the replay, they look short on the spot. We'll see how they're going to, when you get a better view on the replay, might change where they're spotting this thing. Is going to be awfully close, though.
They're going to stretch out the sticks. Georgia defense thinks they stopped him. Oh, yeah. By about a half a yard. Ball goes over on downs. The Dogs with a big stop here in the first half. 10:35 on the clock, second quarter. Dogs come up with a 4th and 1 defensive stand and will take over around the 13-yard line. Jordan Davis, the freshman, got in there and wouldn't let Blasingame go once he got his claws on him. He got welcomed on the Georgia sideline after that play.
Well, Dogs brought another linebacker blitz. We've been very successful with that, timing up the snap count of Shermer and just creating disruption in the backfield.
Timeout here at Sanford Stadium, 10:35 to go. Tonight's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. We're here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth inside the Larry Munson broadcast suite just moments ago. A lot of returning Bulldogs recognized here on homecoming night, including Roquan Smith, who got the loudest ovation. People love a little Roquan, and why not?
Oh, do they ever? You're right.
1st and 10, Georgia at the 14-yard line. We give the ball to Elijah Holyfield. Dogs haven't touched the ball in, it seems like, eons, as Holyfield will kind of dance through the hole and pick up almost 5 yards, close to the 19-yard line. That is our leading rusher this season. That's his first carry tonight. That Vanderbilt possession, Z, lasted more than 7.5 minutes, 12 plays, 81 yards, and they turned the ball over on downs.
Yeah, chewed up some clock. Good job there by the Dogs, finally hunkering down and getting the football back.
Lamont Gilliard, here's good news. He's back in the game at center. We give it to Holyfield. Here he goes. Elijah shoots through the hole across the 25, running high and tight with that ball in the right arm across the 30 to the 32. That's a scan of energy first down for Holyfield. Dimitri Moore, the linebacker, made the tackle. The ball just across the 31-yard line.
And we just equaled the number of runs we had in the entire first quarter.
Trey Hill is at guard, and along with Cade Mays, as Georgia will keep it on the ground here, running straight ahead with Holyfield again to the 35-yard line to pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 right there. Andre Mintz, the linebacker, on the stop for Vanderbilt. And Georgia goes quick, no huddle. Quick throw over the middle to the tight end, Werner. Fromm to Werner. Werner all the way to midfield, trying to twist away from a leg tackle. And he gets into Commodore territory, right on the logo, middle of the field, down to the Vanderbilt 48-yard line.
Great read there by Jake Fromm. Vandy brought linebacker pressure, just stands up and pops his tight end.
Frank Coppett, 5'11", 185, trying to hang on to Big Warner for life. Fromm will whip it out to the left. He throws it to Swift in the left flat. Swift to the sideline, tripped up, low tackle diving effort made by Jordan Griffin, the linebacker. He undercuts DeAndre as he goes sliding out of bounds on the Commodore sideline at the 43-yard line. Gain of 5.
Another good read there by Jake Fromm. Quickly getting to his check down. DeAndre Swift out in the flat.
Now we'll slow it down a little bit. 2 receivers to the near side. Holloman, and in the slot is Crumpton. And then Godwin to the left. Fromm going to roll to the right, looking downfield, throws on the run, and out of bounds and incomplete. Had Holloman and Crumpton in the same area, and the ball sailed over everybody's head and into the Georgia sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Dogs as the ball goes back to the Commodore 43-yard line.
Dogs move the pocket there, get Jake Fromm on the run, and you're right, had 2 dogs in the same vicinity, really no place to throw the football.
Georgia working on the far hash, moving to the right here. 8:32, clock stopped, second quarter. Georgia 7, Commodores 3. We bring Mecole Hardman in motion to the near side. He keeps running. Fromm drops back to pass in the pocket, throws deep, and going to be incomplete, and there are flags everywhere. 1, 2, 3 flags. That's going to be holding or interference on Vanderbilt on Randall Haney. Riley Ridley was the guy being mugged downfield. Hardman was running a longer route, and flags just came out everywhere as all of a sudden Ridley's progress stopped because the Commodores impeded him.
Defense, number 4. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So the possession will continue with the Vanderbilt penalty.
And that's number 4 on Vandy. Dogs have had 5 penalties on the afternoon. Yellow Hankies have been out everywhere.
Commodores came into this game with scarcely few penalties through 5 games so far this season. In fact, I believe they were the least penalized team. They were the least penalized team in the SEC, but they're picking up a handful tonight. They only had 24 total through their first 5 games.
And if they didn't have a penalty there, that would have been 6 points. It was a little out and up by Ridley that they had no chance of stopping.
There's Swift with the handoff. Runs a sweep to the right and tackled up high around the headgear and the shoulder pads by Jawan Williams on this near right sideline. And they'll spot the ball back on the hash mark at the 24, it looks like, after the run by Swift.
Sorry, Scott. Big block there by Charlie Warner.
Second down coming up, and Josh Fields will come into the ball game for the first time at quarterback. Justin Fields, excuse me. Josh Fields plays for the Dodgers, doesn't he? He gives it off to Holyfield. Holyfield's got nothing but room on this right side. 20, 10, 5. He dives near the pylon, and he crosses the goal line. Touchdown. The dive got him in there.
Boy, talk about the influence of Justin Fields right there. All it was a read option, but Vandy, all of them went with Justin Fields and left Holyfield all by his lonesome there. And then his speed and power, it was straight to pay dirt.
He dove from about the 5, it looked like, flew through the air, got the pylon in the near right corner. Holyfield for the score. The touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. And Georgia, with its second touchdown of the night, now leads it 13-3, and we're waiting on the extra point try as the officials will turn us loose here in a second. Rodrigo Blankenship on to kick. Jake Camarda to hold. Nick Moore the snapper. Ball spotted on the 10 between the hash marks for the extra point try. There's the snap and the hold. The kick is high in the air between the pipes and good into the seats. Georgia now has a 14-3 lead over the Commodores. We're in the second quarter, 7:49 to go. Dogs out front on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Coach Kirby Smart here. Today's broadcast is live from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth.
Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. For every touchdown the Dogs score, Scana Energy will make a $500 donation to the University of Georgia General Scholarship Fund. Tonight's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. Dogs go 86 yards after they force the ball over on downs with a defensive stop on the other end of the field. 86 yards, 8 plays. Holyfield, 24-yard touchdown run. Dogs 14-3 is the score, and that's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Here's Blankenship for the kick. Jamari Wakefield, Josh Crawford, the deep receivers for the Commodores. They stand on the goal line to our right. Rodrigo from left to right. Bangs another deep, long end-over-end ball. Going to land over the back line of the end zone for another touchback. And it's 1st and 10 at the 25 for Vanderbilt. Our new score now 14-3, Georgia with the lead.
Vandy's done a good job in between the 20s. Obviously stalled there at the end of that drive and turned it over on downs, but pretty successful with what they're trying to do offensively. Kyle Shermer, 6 out of 10, 88 yards. And in the running game, 14 carries for 80 yards.
And Z, after we only ran it twice in the first quarter, we got back to business. 5 runs on that scoring possession there. 3 passes, 5 runs, including the touchdown run by Holyfield.
Yeah, it was really the spark to the offense as well.
1st and 10, Commodores on their own 25. Shermer under center, stretch handoff to Wakefield, running this way. Jamari Wakefield angles to the near side. Flag on the far side of the field, back at the 20-yard line. Going to go against the Commodores, I do believe. And that'll wipe out.
Illegal formation, offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the ball will be back on the 20, 1st and 15 there for the Commodores. They place it on the far hash mark as the Commodores try to move to our left as we view it from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. 7:30 to go, first half. We're in the second quarter. Dogs with a 14-3 lead. Shermer's got 3 receivers to his right and 2 to the left. They go with an empty set. He's in the shotgun. The senior claps his hands, gets the snap, throws it over the middle. A short low pass to Lipscomb is caught around the 20. Kalijah Lipscomb hasn't been heard from too much tonight. Monty Rice right on top of him to drag him down as soon as he caught the football at the 23-yard line. And the gain was 3. And it'll be 2nd down and 12 now for Vanderbilt. Ball between the hash marks.
Dogs there sat back in cover 3, forced that football to be thrown in front of them. Good job by Monty Rice coming up and making an open field tackle.
Lipscomb had 43 catches coming into tonight, leading the SEC in that category. He's got 2 this evening. Shermer in the shotgun. Wakefield in the backfield to block. Shermer will unload, throw. He's got a man open on the near sideline at the 41. And that is Trey Ellis. It's caught and out of bounds is the Commodore receiver at the 43. Richard LeCount pushing him out of bounds. But that's a 20-yard pickup and a first down for Vanderbilt.
Boy, just way too much space. Dogs play cover 2 there. DeAndre Baker came up pretty hard on the flat route underneath. That football well thrown, but way too much space.
So 1st and 10 at the 43 now as Bruno Reagan squats over the football for Vanderbilt. Shotgun snap. They'll keep it on the ground, and Wakefield hit behind the line of scrimmage. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Jonathan Ledbetter got back in there with upfield penetration. Here's Rochester hobbling to the near sideline. Another injury to another Georgia player now. Big number 5 gets to the sideline. They'll take a look at him as he hobbles out of the game. Ball's at the 42. Lost a yard on the tackle by Ledbetter. It'll be 2nd 11. For Vanderbilt, ball on their own 42.
Boy, Dogs in spurts here doing a good job on the defensive line, and then we'll have 1 or 2 plays where we just get creased.
Barnett, Clark, and Ledbetter across the line. Also outside linebacker Walker with his hand in the grass. Shermer with pressure, try to set up a screen to the right. Caught, catch is made at the 40, and that's Josh Crawford up the near sideline into Georgia territory. He had enough blocking and enough space over there to get to the Georgia 45-yard line. And that's a gain of about 12 and a first down. Ledbetter and Barnett had upfield pressure. Did they come down and make the stop as well? Yeah, they did. As soon as they saw it was a screen pass to the near side, they reversed their course, came down, got in on the tackle.
Dogs again brought linebacker pressure there, so the screen pass very effective against that because the guys who are going to be covering the receiver on that are actually blitzing the quarterback. So a well dialed up play there by Vanderbilt. Continue to move the chains.
Shermer stands in the pocket, whips it with the right arm, broken up at the 38 near sideline by DeAndre Baker, trying to go to C.J. Bowler right in front of the Georgia sideline. And Baker just batted it away. He had good tight coverage on the 6'3 freshman from Purvis, Mississippi. Incomplete. Second down and 10 for the Commodores. Ball on the Georgia 45. Georgia leads it in a tough one so far, 14-3.
Now Vandy had fit a couple in against Baker with just perfectly thrown footballs. That one pretty well thrown as well. But Baker in perfect position to make that stop.
I formation for the Commodores on 2nd and 10 from the 45, and Georgia calls a time. Well, they popped out there in the eye. Don't see that a lot anymore. 4:30 to go, second quarter.
Third and final timeout of the half.
14-3 is our score. Dogs lead Vanderbilt. We'll take a break. Back in a moment on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Charge of my health. Commodores ball on the Georgia 45-yard line. Second down and 10. Let's pause. Station identification on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Commodores have 203 total yards of offense, the most Georgia has yielded in the first half this season, but only 3 points, see? So that's the good news.
Yeah, well, we get the turnover on downs instead of Vandy trying to kick a field goal there, so a big stop. But between the 20s, they've been moving the football.
2nd and 10 here in Georgia territory. Ball's on the 45. Commodores moving left. They work on the near hash. Shermer with pressure will throw, and it is incomplete over the head of his intended target, Sam Dobbs, one of their many tight ends, 6'4 senior from Douglasville, Georgia. Dobbs around the first down marker at the 35. Ball sailed over his head, landed incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Vanderbilt. Clock stops now with 4:25 to go in the quarter.
Natrez Patrick there in coverage. Dogs played cover 2, and Natrez able to undercut that route in his 2-deep zone drop.
Dogs with Clark and Jay Hayes, defensive linemen. We got Cox in there at the left edge and Walker on the right. 3rd down and 10 for the Commodores on the Georgia 45. There's the snap to Shermer. He backs up to his 45. Will throw it powerful and hard. It's caught at the 30, and then he's clobbered by Richard LeCount, whose helmet came off. C.J. Bowler able to hang on to the football, but he took a serious hit by LeCount, who lost his hat and has to come out of the ball game. But the gain is 15 and a first down for Vanderbilt. Shermer, he's got no fear in the pocket, see? He stands back there and rifles that football.
Boy, does he ever. And Dogs were in dime right there. Only rushed 4, sat back and played 2 deep coverage, just a deep in route where they found just a small little window to fit it into.
Shermer now 10 for 16, 139 yards. They're going to run it to the right side with Wakefield. Wakefield trying to get outside the hash between the numbers. He cuts downfield at the 30 and will be knocked down around the 27-yard line. Monty Rice, a linebacker, sophomore from Madison, Alabama, with the hit. And the gain is about 3 or so. 2nd down and 7 for the Commodores. They take their time. They huddle up. Dogs make some defensive changes. Get Barnett back in the ball game. Also Grant comes back in. 2nd and 7 from the Dogs' 27-yard line. I formation for Vanderbilt. 2 receivers to the near side. Shermer going to hand it to the I-back. And that's Wakefield with a blocker ahead. Not a lot there. Across the 25, tumbled down at the 24. Brenton Cox, a freshman linebacker from Stockbridge, Georgia, gets credit for the tackle. And they'll put the ball on the 24. He got 3 more. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go for the Commodores as they continue to just burn clock.
Just a stretch play there by Vandy, able to capture the edge of the Dogs for a small pickup.
Pinckney is back in the ball game for the Commodores. He was shaken up earlier in the game. He's a weapon. Play clock down to 4. Shermer wants the football now. He gets it. Backs up. Pressure from the edges. He'll throw it downfield. Incomplete. Dogs had Cox and McGee in the backfield. And Shermer unleashed that football, throwing it down around the 10. It lands around the 5. Nowhere near his intended target, or at least nowhere near the ability to catch the football. And on 4th down now, Commodores will go reaching for a long field goal by Riley Gay, who is 0 for 3 beyond 40 yards this season. And this will be a 42-yard try from the near hash, kicking to the left. He made a short one earlier. This will be his longest of the season if he converts. The walk-on from Illinois will try to give the Commodores 3 more points. The kick is away, high, reaching, and into the net, and good. 42-yard kick by Riley Gay, who has struggled this season coming into this ball game, but he's 2 for 2 tonight. 2:18 to go in the half. Second quarter score, Georgia 14, Commodores now 6. Timeout on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. The second quarter recap presented by Ag South and Ag Georgia Farm Credit. Loans for land and farm. It was 7-3 Georgia coming out of the first quarter. Dogs took a 14-3 lead on a 24-yard Elijah Holyfield touchdown run. And then the Commodores just seconds ago added a Riley Gay 42-yard field goal. It's 14-6 as the Commodores will kick it away. A long, deep kick going to land 9 yards deep in the end zone for the touchback. And Better is taking charge of my health. For more information, visit betterisga.com. Dogs will get the ball at the 25-yard line. And Z, you already have your plan for the rest of the ball game here, including the last 2:18 of this half.
No, I think it would be the plan for the entire Bulldog Nation. Score here, run out the clock, get it back, and score again. Give yourself some breathing room. But to score here, 2:18 left on the clock, plenty of time. But we've had to burn all of our timeouts, so Dogs have to do this without the ability to stop the clock.
Commodores have doubled us up in time of possession. They've had the ball for better than 18 minutes. Georgia a little bit over 9. Here's Fromm with a throw to Riley Ridley on the near sideline. Didn't get out of bounds. He makes the catch at the 39. They hit him there immediately. Juwan Williams makes the tackle. And the gain is 14 up to the 39. 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Plenty of time. 2:03, now 2:02. Fromm in the shotgun. Swift in the backfield. Jake stands in the pocket, will throw, lobs it over the defense, finds tight end Isaac Nauta on the near sideline. He makes the catch in Commodore territory and then tiptoes for about 10 more yards down to the 33-yard line, shoved out of bounds by the safety, Ladarius Wiley. So 2 plays, Z. We've moved from our 25 down to the Commodore 33.
Yeah, great touch on that pass there from Jake Fromm. Just a little corner route. We held the safety with the hitch route underneath that corner by Isaac Nauta. You can't place it in a better spot than Jake Fromm just did.
Big 28-yard gain on the pass play to the junior tight end from Buford. 1st and 10, Georgia at the Commodore 33. Fromm will throw over the middle. There's Nauta again. They left him uncovered. Makes the catch at the 26 and down to the 21. Stopped by Jordan Griffin. Another 1st down for the Dogs. And a 7-yard, more than a 7-yard pickup, about a 9-yard pickup. Here's Fromm, a quick throw and a slant to Hardman. Hardman twisted down around the 10-yard line, hit a couple of times, but check a flag back at the 20. He had a first down there, but let's check the penalty flag. It may be offsides against Vanderbilt.
Defense, number 34. Penalty is refused. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Dario Dangbo,
I got it.
He's got it. Hubert's got it. Now he's got to turn off the mic. You got to get that. 1st and 10, Georgia. 1st and goal, Georgia. Ball right on the 10-yard line. They'll have to score as the Dogs enter the Massey Ferguson red zone. 1:26. We've managed the clock beautifully here. Shotgun snap to Fromm. Here comes pressure. He throws it into the back corner of the end zone. It's caught by Hardman. In or out? Out of bounds. In the right corner of the end zone. We couldn't see. We got covered up by the band and the camera and everything. Had to wait on a ruling from the official, but Hardman out of bounds on the right edge.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, we go back and watch this one on film. DeAndre Swift snuck out of the backfield as the Commodores brought pressure. If Jake would have seen it, that would have been a for sure touchdown.
Fromm got clobbered as he was letting that ball go. We think it may have been Josh Smith, a linebacker, who came in from Fromm's left and really drove him into the turf as he let that ball go. 2nd and goal from the 10. Dogs threatening here late in the half. Minute 19 to go in the quarter. Snap to Fromm. He looks to the right, throws it in that same spot. Riley juggled it, caught it. Yeah, arms up in the air for the touchdown.
What an unbelievable catch right there. We actually threw it into double coverage. We just said our guy's better than your guy, and sure enough, he was. Ridley goes up, tips the football to himself, keeps his body in bounds, and comes down with the football.
10-yard pass from to Riley Ridley. He did kind of tip it, juggle it to himself, got the feet in bounds, made the catch. Dogs get the score. Wiley and Williams, the two secondary men for Vanderbilt, were right there in coverage, but Ridley was better on that play. That touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. Here's Blankenship for the point after try. This to tie the consecutive extra point mark. Held by Blair Walsh. It's up and good. 119 straight extra points for Rodrigo Blankenship. Ties the school record. And with 1:14 to go in the second quarter, the Dogs have extended the lead. It's Georgia 21 and Vanderbilt 6. 10-yard touchdown pass from Fromm to Ridley. It was a 6-play, 75-yard drive. Only took 64 seconds. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
And just a clinic there by the Dogs throwing the football, and a great job by Coach Chaney of dialing up the right plays in the game of cat and mouse. Perfect calls against cover 2 when we were seeing it. As Vandy adjusts and they go single safety, dialed up the right plays there as well. And Jake Fromm, this offensive line, these receivers, everybody involved. That's as clean a series as we've had throwing the football all year.
Fromm, impressive first half numbers. 14 of 19 throwing the football, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. Dogs 21, Commodores 6. As Rodrigo has it teed up on the 35, he'll kick it from left to right. And this one high, end over end, sailing towards the end zone. Commodores may try to run it out, and they do. That's Wakefield to the 10 to the 15, outside the far hash, and tripped up around the 20. Here comes a flag at the end of the play, right around the tackle. And he got forward progress up to the 21, I think, but let's check the penalty marker on that side of the field near the end of the play. Here's Hubert Owens, if we can hear him.
Doing the return, holding, receiving team, number 88. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Hubert had that one too. This mic is working a lot better now. Walter Grant on the stop for Georgia. That'll put Vanderbilt in the hole on the Commodore penalty. Their 6th penalty of the night. And back inside the 10 at the 9.5. If you know someone who makes an impact on their community, Team UGA, presented by Georgia Power, is accepting nominations for members who demonstrate an unselfish giving attitude. Submit your nominations at georgiadogs.com. Commodores in a jam, 69 seconds to go. They're going to try to run it out of trouble. Vaughn crosses the line of scrimmage, angling to the right, and is clobbered as he got to the 11 or 12-yard line. We stacked it up on that right side of the Commodore line of scrimmage. Ledbetter, one of the guys in there. Tate Crowder got a piece of that one perhaps as well.
Commodores content here just to take this one into the locker room. It's got to be a bit demoralizing. They played a very good first half, and to look up on the scoreboard and see you're down 21-6 after the way you played, that can't feel good.
Just can't get in the end zone in this first half. The gain was 3 there. Ball's on the 13. Commodores with 25 seconds to go. They'll run it again, this time to the opposite side. They'll run around the left side with Keyshawn Vaughn, who will cross the 15 to the 16, stopped by DeAndre Walker. And that should be the final play of the half. Commodores are already headed to their locker room. So 30 minutes in the book. And Georgia has a 21-6 lead after that last drive. As you said, Z, that was a bit demoralizing for Vanderbilt. The Dogs just went tearing down the field on that last possession in 64, 66 seconds and got into the end zone to jack it up the lead to 21-6. And coming up here in just a second or two, we'll chat with Coach Kirby Smart with Chuck Dowdle. It's brought to you by Delta Airlines, the official airline of the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia finishes that first half with 263 yards of offense. Commodores controlled the clock, almost 20 minutes on the clock of time of possession for Vanderbilt. Let's go down to the field. Chuck Dowdle with the coach.
No, I got to tell you, Scott, boy, what a way to finish that first half for the Dogs. And Coach Smart just finishing up his television interview right now. He's coming over, and we'll get a quick word with him. Coach, that was a great finish to that first half. Give me your pluses and minuses.
We're not playing our brand of football. We're not doing a good job defensively, wrapping up, tackling. Had some breakdowns on defense. They're doing a good job changing things up. Just like I said, they got a good quarterback. When you got a good quarterback, you got a shot.
You get the ball coming out to start second half.
Yeah, we need to do something.
All right, there you go, Coach. And I got to tell you something, Scott. You got to keep in mind this Vanderbilt team that we're now leading by 15 points. You know, they came really close to beating Notre Dame in South Bend like we did last year.
That is correct. Yes, we did win that ball game. They came close, lost by 5. But as we all know, close doesn't mean squat. 21-6 is our score here. Georgia leads Commodores. We're at halftime. Hondo's next here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Almost ready to start the second half. Georgia leads Vanderbilt at intermission 21-6. Now it's time for our Northside Impact, sponsored by Northside Hospital Atlanta. We diagnose and treat more new cancer cases than any other hospital in Georgia, providing care at 48 cancer centers. You can learn more at builttobeatcancer.com. And we've got some second half adjustments served up by Buffalo Wild Wings, the proud hangout for Georgia athletics. Wings, beer, sports. Z, as the Dogs prepare to take the second half kickoff, what adjustments do you see that need to be made?
Offensive side of the ball, we got a lot of opportunity in the passing game, but want to see us run the football more. Only 7 rushes for the Dogs in the first half. That's almost unheard of. See if we can chew up some of this clock and then pound and ground this Commodore defense a little bit. On the defensive side of the ball, we need to continue to bring pressure every time we sit back. Outside of getting hurt on a couple of screen games from Vandy, when we're bringing pressure, we're able to immediately get in the backfield. Would like to see us continue that aggressive play.
7 carries, as you mentioned, for 56 yards. Yeah, that is an oddly low number for Georgia. But the Dogs lead 21-6. That's the good news as Riley Gay prepares to kick it away from right to left for Vanderbilt. And Miko Hardman sliding to his right in the end zone to receive the kick. He'll reach up, try to grab it. It goes over his head. And he doesn't worry about it because the Dogs have a touchback. And we'll get the football at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. And we'll see if if the Dogs can comply with part 2 of your secret plan in that first half. They executed the first part of your plan, perfectly, which was score towards the end of the half.
Yeah, perfectly.
Get the kickoff, score again.
Give ourselves a little bit of breathing room, and then to add to the plan, then the defense needs to come in with a 3 and out. Then we need to return a punt for a touchdown.
Oh, you're adding things.
I did. I added to it.
You didn't tell me that. All right, here's the Dogs from the 25-yard line. Give it to Swift. Swift will angle to the right at right guard and right tackle for 5 yards up to the 30. And stopped by the linebacker Griffin and the cornerback Williams for Vanderbilt. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for the Dogs. We will not huddle up. We'll just get right back to the line of scrimmage. Fromm will call the play from there. Swift starting the second half for the Dogs. Ridley to the near side. Godwin to the far side. 2 tight ends set. Werner on the right edge. Nauta on the left edge. Fromm under center. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Handoff. Swift looking for room straight ahead. Dances to his left. Ducks in there at left guard gap and up for 4 to the 34-yard line. Dimitri Moore, the linebacker, makes the tackle for Vanderbilt. And it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Dogs on our 34-yard line.
Vanderbilt continuing to play single safety, but very soft with that single safety. So opportunities to run the football with them playing that far off.
All right, man on man right here. 3rd and 1 from the 34. Fromm going to take it to shove it across the 35-yard line behind that surge from his offensive line, and he'll get the first down at the 35.5. That's a Scana Energy first down for the Dogs. Lamont Gilliard, Trey Hill with the injury to Solomon Kinley in the first half at left guard, Cade Mays at right guard, and now Justin Fields has checked into the ball game at quarterback.
Well, Justin Fields, one play in that first half and went for a touchdown. It's the entire Vandy defense keyed on him.
He will throw. It's caught by Ridley at the 44. Spinning catch by Riley Ridley, who had a touchdown in the first half at the 44-yard line. Forward progress to the 45, and now a late flag comes in after the play. Frank Coppett made the tackle on Riley Ridley, but some words or some actions were exchanged, and the flag came in. So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike or a personal foul on one of these teams. Fromm is back in the huddle for Georgia, by the way, as Fields comes in, throws one completed
After the
pass.
play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 53 on the offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Well, it wipes out a nice little gain for the Dogs.
Boy, just too many of those week after week where we lose our cool out on the field and get just a silly penalty.
I believe that's the 6th of the night for Georgia. Vanderbilt also with 6. But we've had a couple of the 15-yard variety. Ball back on our 30 now, as we were nearing midfield after that catch by Ridley. But now it's 2nd and 15 back on the 30. Fromm again back in at quarterback under center. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. We'll run it with Holyfield. Elijah getting some blocking on the edge. Stops at the 35. Changes directions as he moves to his left. Almost back to the 40-yard line. As Holyfield, good strong run to the right side. And Donovan Sheffield, Griffin and Moore. He stiff-armed Sheffield, and then Griffin and Moore made the stop for the Commodore defense. Ball's at the 40. That was a 10-yard run by Holyfield.
Good downfield blocking there by Isaac Nauta and Terry Godwin. Holyfield misread the block of Terry Godwin. Actually ran right into the defender that he had blocked.
3rd and 5 for the Dogs from our 40. Fromm back to pass. Standing in the pocket. Whips it sidearm. Caught by Hardman. Breaks the tackle. It's 50. Near sideline. There he goes. Oh, they just catch him. They just got his leg right around the 35-yard line. He broke away from Jawan Williams, and Ladarius Wiley, the safety, had to come clean it up for the Commodore defense. Ball's down at the Commodore 35. 20-yard, make it a 25-yard gain, and the Dogs go quickly at the Commodore 35. Going no huddle. They're ready to go. Officials will turn them loose. Fromm in the shotgun. Whips it to the right, batted down, trying to go to Swift in the right flat, but one of their big linemen, Dio Odangbo, got in there and broke up the pass for the incompletion. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Commodore 35-yard line.
Boy, if that ball doesn't get batted down, Swift is running for a while.
Hardman almost ran for a while the previous play.
He did it after almost getting his head taken off by a Vandy defensive back.
He's a tough guy. 2nd 10, Dogs on the Commodore 35. Georgia leading it 21-6. Man in motion to the near side. That's Hardman. Fromm looks to the right, whips it back to the left to Swift. Wide open the left flat. Swift 30, 25, veers in, 15, 10, 5. He won't be touched. Touchdown, DeAndre Swift. Wide open in the left flat, and he just cruises into the end zone.
Fantastic read there by Jake Fromm. That was his check down, able to get it out into space. And DeAndre Swift in space. There was one Vandy Commodore that had a chance to make the tackle. Well, not really. He was actually out there, but you get one-on-one with number 7, and he is just a beast to take down.
Yeah, he juked Ladarius Wiley, Z. That was the one guy that had a shot at him, but he's picking up his shorts off the turf after that run by Swift. Fromm with another touchdown pass, and another touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. Point after try Blankenship. There's the record setter. 120 in a row on extra points for Rodrigo Blankenship. New school record and a new score. Georgia 28, Commodores 6. 3rd quarter. Back after this. Bulldogs Sports Network. Vanderbilt 6 as the Dogs score again to start the 2nd half. Jake Fromm to DeAndre Swift, 35-yard touchdown pass, 8-play drive, 75 yards, took 3:15 off the clock. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. And then Rodrigo Blankenship with the record-setting 120th consecutive extra point to make it 28-6. He'll kick it off here as we watch it from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Sanford Stadium. Blankenship puts his right leg into this one and sends it sailing long end over end over the back line of the end zone for the touchback. The Commodores will have the ball on offense for the first time in this half, starting at their own 25-yard line. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day and to your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. Jake Fromm now with 3 touchdown passes tonight for the 4th time in his career. That matches his career high. Fromm 16 of 22, 267 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. He's got a healthy Eric Zier-like passer rating of almost 220.
That's being generous to me. That's never happened.
You should just say, yes, you're right, Scott. The Commodores will run the football, and they'll run it this way with Vaughn. He's running through Georgia tacklers from the 25 up across the 35 to the 38. Tyson Campbell had to make the stop in the secondary. 13-yard run by Keyshawn Vaughn, who's shown some flashes tonight, but fortunately, well, he'll leave the ball game right now as they substitute Blassingame to come in.
Great patience right there by Vaughn. And then another great cutback. Where the Commodores have heard us running the football is cutting back away from the flow of the play across grain. Our pursuit just has not been there consistently enough today.
Ball on the Commodore 38, first down there. Man in motion across the formation to the right. Shermer back to pass. We chase him with Rochester. He'll throw it to the motion man, Chris Pierce. Caught on the far side. There's a flag down at the 38. Pierce up across the 45 on the pass reception and tackled at the 46 by David Marshall and Monty Rice. But let's check the flag. False start, I believe, is the indication.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That must be a point of emphasis this year because we've seen that a lot from a lot of different teams.
Well, we saw, 2 or 3 of them last week from Tennessee.
Yeah, on punt formations.
On punt formations.
We've had one tonight.
That's right.
So the ball back on the 33-yard line now. That wiped out a nice little gain for the Commodores. First down and 15 from their own 33. They're moving to the left. They'll run it with Vaughn, who's back in. Breaks outside at right tackle, up across the 40 and slung to the turf by J.R. Reed, the Dogs safety, a junior from Frisco, Texas.
Illegal
and
formation.
Another flag down.
Offense. 5 players in the backfield.
Oh, my goodness.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I think coaches might have to go to a refereeing seminar now to find out exactly what the heck is going on. Ouch. Thanks, Hubert. Jeez. I thought he said he had it. Maybe that's what he was talking about. I've got it. Whistle in the microphone. Commodores with another penalty, and they're back on their own 28 now. Dog fans like that. They're going backwards. First and 20. 10-10, third quarter. Dogs lead it 28-6. Snap to Shermer, a little bit low around the knees. He catches it cleanly. Now he's dancing in the pocket, runs to his left and just slings it incomplete. Pinckney was over there in the area as a last resort, but nowhere near where the football actually landed. He was covered by DeAndre Baker. And the long running incompletion will bring up second down and 20 for Vanderbilt from their own 28.
Well, it was DeAndre Walker that faked like he was up on the line of scrimmage, looked like he was going to come, actually drop back into the throwing lane of Shermer, which is what caused Shermer to pull that thing down.
So second long for the Commodores now. Clock stop 9:56 after the incomplete pass. They move the tight end to the right edge as a wing. He comes back, blocks on the left side. They run it straight ahead with Blassingame, I believe, or was that Wakefield? Wakefield on the carry, running straight up the gut between the hash marks to the 34.5. Tyler Clark with the stop. The junior defensive tackle from Americus, Georgia. Had a big defensive play in the first half early in the ball game. Forced the Commodores to try a field goal for their first scoring opportunity. Third down, 13 to go for Vanderbilt. Ball just shy of their 35-yard line.
Vandy 2 out of 7 on third down for the afternoon.
4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Shermer in the shotgun. One back in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Shermer drops back on the 25. Throws it deep down the middle, and it's broken up, cutting in front of the play, trying to go to Pinckney. Broken up by Mark Webb. Webb right on the logo, just stepped right in front of Pinckney, the big tight end, and batted the ball away with his, I believe it was his left hand. Just knocked it to the turf.
Great coverage there by Webb. Inside skinny post against cover 2. Great play dialed up. But Webb carried Pinckney exactly as you have to, got his head turned around, and in a position to make a perfect play.
Commodores will punt it away with Parker Tomey, 6'4" graduate from Wisconsin. He'll kick it to Mecole Hardman. Not a lot of height, but a good bit of distance. Going to land on the 22 and bounce to Mecole, who fielded it at the 13. They twist him down right there. Maybe even back a yard or two. We'll see where they spot it. He fielded it on the hop. Looks like they're going to put it on the 11-yard line. He got a little bounce and roll, a 52-yard punt, -2 on the return attempt. Georgia. Oh, wait a minute. There's a flag. Another flag down back, where is it, at midfield on the far sideline. Oh, I see it now. It's at the Georgia 33-yard line. We'll see if we can get the word. They haven't started the break yet, I don't believe.
During the return, personal foul, return team number 87, blocking the player unnecessarily out of bounds. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down.
Second penalty of the night on Tyler Simmons. Dogs with another flag. And we'll start in a hole. 28-6. We lead third quarter with 8:57 to go. We'll take a break. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Coach Kirby Smart here. Today's broadcast is live from the Piedmont Healthcare Radio booth.
Well, you better buckle up because SiriusXM is 0 to everything in 150 channels. You get commercial-free music plus entertainment, comedy, news, of course, coverage of every major sport, including Georgia Bulldogs football. So tune in and let's ride. Well, that penalty on the Dogs after the punt put us back on the 6-yard line. So we start in a hole. But leading 28-6, 8:57. Fields is in the ball game on this possession at quarterback. Justin Fields, the freshman from Kennesaw, will work out of the shotgun. Holyfield in the backfield with him. He stands on the 1. We'll give it to Elijah. Breaks free at the 5, 10, almost to the 15-yard line. Tumbled down there. So quick on hitting that hole. Caleb Peart, a linebacker from Chandler, Arizona, made the stop. But almost a full 10 yards downfield to the 15. The gain is 9. It's 2nd and 1. Quick snap to Justin. Fields will throw it over the middle. It's batted down, almost picked off by one of the linemen, I think. That looked like Drew Birchmeyer that got a hand on it and batted it away to the turf. And the incompletion will bring up 3rd down in less than a yard from the 15.
Dogs probably fortunate that got batted down. I think if that would have made it all the way to his intended target, had a chance to be picked off by 2 Commodores.
Holyfield comes out, Harrion in. Fields stays in at quarterback. He'll go under center this time. Robinson's in the game. He'll come in motion, and Fields will just drive behind that huge surge from the offensive line for the first down on 3rd and short. He got surge all the way up to the 18-yard line. That's a Scana Energy first down for the Dogs. We'll move the sticks. Mays and Wilson on that right side. Gilliard, the center. Boy, they just blew Vanderbilt off the ball.
Boy, did they ever. Isaiah Wilson just crushed somebody. I'm not sure who it was, but that was amazing.
Well, you're peeling him up off the turf. He was flattened like in one of the Roadrunner cartoons. Play fake. Fields. He rolls to the near side. Will lob it to the tight end Werner. Werner catches it at the 20 up the near sideline. He stepped over a man at the 35. Keeps going. The pile. He's driving the pile himself all the way to the 42-yard line. Charlie Werner, junior tight end from Tiger, Georgia, now flags down late after the play.
Boy, big Isaiah Wilson hustling downfield too, getting in on the action.
Another Scana Energy first down, as Werner pushed it some 25 yards upfield. Now Hubert Owens and his crew have been busy tonight. They're wearing a hole in those pants, pulling those flags out of their pocket. Looks like some unsportsmanlikes are coming. Guys are writing stuff down on pads. That's never good.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Offense, number 77. 15-yard penalty. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's a little bit of a ticky-tack call there. Cade Mays was hustling downfield.
Correction, the result of the play was the line of the game. It'll be first down.
Cade Mays hustling down the field, getting in on the action. A block at the end of the play was right at the whistle. It didn't look late on the replay, but that's one that you don't mind. That is a hustle play, an aggressive play. Surprised that they threw the flag.
Well, Cade has come out of the ball game too, and Justin Schaefer is in at right guard now for the Dogs, as the officials are trying to find placement and down and distance and all that. They brought the ball back to the 27-yard line, and it'll be first down there, and first and 10 from the 27. 7:50, clock ticking down, third quarter, 28-6 Georgia. Another penalty for the Dogs. Nauta at right edge, flip-flops as the tight end. Here's Harrion on the carry around that right edge with Nauta and company blocking. He gets outside the numbers up to the 34-yard line. Cameron Tidd, a reserve lineman, makes the stop for Vanderbilt. And the gain is 7. It'll be second down and 3.
Good block there by Schaefer, just coming into the game, and Isaiah Wilson as well.
Fields in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes it to Harrion, and off he goes. Fields slides down. They hit him while he's already on the turf. There's the flag. Yeah, he was already well into his slide and making contact with the grass, and they hit him going down. That was Max Worship, a reserve cornerback, 6'1" freshman from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, going to get tagged for a 15-yarder right there, I do believe, at the 42-yard line, as Fields went around the left end, up the field.
After the play was over, personal foul, targeting, number 14 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down. The previous play is under further review.
Well, they went a little bit deeper with the targeting call, so they'll take a look at it. And this review is brought to you by Barbasol. Dog fans, Barbasol is giving you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99 today with code FOOTBALL at Barbasol.com. Game on. Let's pause for station identification here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. We've got a play under review after a targeting call on Vanderbilt. And Z, looking at the replay, what did you think?
I don't think there's any way that's a targeting call. Now, if they wanted to call him because he was into his slide, even that would have been close because the slide was a little bit late. But it was a good tackle. I think it was Wilson that made the tackle, correct? Fields was going down. Wilson was going down with him. Didn't lead with his head. You know, his head got into the play, but it looked clean to me.
Well, the penalty will stand. The targeting may be thrown out. Here's Hubert Owens with a call.
After review, the ruling is that there is no targeting. Number 14 of the defense can remain in the game. First down.
And that first down is presented by Scana Energy, the run by Justin Fields. Dogs have a first and 10 at our own 42-yard line. The gain was 8 on the run, I believe. Do they mark off?
So they wiped out the penalty completely.
Okay, I thought it was targeting with a personal foul. My mistake. 42-yard line, so there was no 15-yard penalty on the Commodores at all. It's just a run, 8-yard run by Fields. First down at the 42. Dogs moving to the right here in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fields sets up in the pocket, wants to throw deep ball, far sideline. He's got Stanley breaking open. He had his man beat, ball out, overthrown. Jason Stanley, and Fields got hit back on the other end, lost his helmet. He was hit by linebacker Josh Smith, and he's grimacing as he comes off the field. He really let that ball fly, overthrew Stanley, who had his man beat by a couple of strides. Long incompletion. Fans don't like what they're seeing with the freshman quarterback getting clobbered after releasing that football. I haven't seen a clean replay on it to see if it was a
clean hit. We just got beat we got beat at the left tackle. It was a good pickup by DeAndre Swift, first of all, but Fields stepped right into a huge shot.
Here's Fromm back in at quarterback. Will fire to Riley Ridley in Commodore territory. The catch is made at the Vanderbilt 49-yard line. And that's going to be 3rd and short now. 3rd and a yard to go for Georgia as we cross midfield. 6:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Dogs leading it 28-6. Everybody in tight for the most part. Fromm under center. Handoff. Swift makes one man miss, breaks through another tackle at the 45 down to the 42.5. He broke the tackle of Donovan Sheffield, and then Dimitri Moore, the linebacker, made the stop. But Swift gets the first down for the Dogs. Justin Fields comes back into the ball game at quarterback for the Dogs.
Another great push there by the Dogs offensive line. Lamont Gilliard, Trey Hill, Justin Schaefer.
1st and 10, Commodore 43. Fields will pull it down and run, angling to the left to the 40 outside the numbers. 35, far sideline, steps out of bounds where? At the 30. 13-yard scramble by the freshman. Fields, first down, Georgia at the Commodore 30-yard line. Dogs on the move again. 5:28. Clock moving. I thought he ran out of bounds, but the clock is still ticking.
Boy, just such a threat. His ability to pull the football down and run. Commodores brought strong safety pressure. We actually picked it up, but they're huge and a lot of grass, huge hole out there for Justin Fields to run.
They never stopped the clock when he ran out of bounds. So are we playing those 10-minute quarters again? Play fake. Fields, he'll pull it down and he'll throw it, try to go to Mecole Hardman, I think, between the hash marks around the 20-yard line. The pass is incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Dogs now. The incompletion, well, that will stop the clock. 5:04 to go, 3rd quarter. James Cook checks into the ball game as the running back Harrion comes out for Georgia.
Just a quick slant on that last pass. It looked like Mecole geared it down just a notch, and then Justin led him as if he was going to go full speed.
Cook in the game, the line of scrimmage for the first time. He'll get his first carry of the night, and he'll be wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. I don't know, he may have gotten back to the line, but no more than that. And they're going to say no gain on the play. He was stopped right at the 30. Josh Smith, senior linebacker from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for Vanderbilt's defense. Dogs grinding some time off the clock. Coming off our own 6-yard line on this possession. This will be the 13th play of the possession. 4:33 and the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter. It's either following your plan down to the finite last details. Fields scrambles in the pocket. I thought he lost the football. They will tackle him. Fields laying on top of the tackler who's on his back. It's Josh Smith, who's starting to work his way into the radio call quite a bit now for the Commodores defense. We've called his name a handful of times as Field is dropped for a loss back on the 36-yard line, a loss of 6. And it's 4th down and long for the Dogs. We're going to go reaching for a long field goal here with Rodrigo Blankenship, a 53-yard try from the far hash, kicking to the right. His career long came in the Rose Bowl last year, a 55-yarder. Now Vanderbilt wants a time. Blankenship will go ahead and follow through with a phantom kick.
Vanderbilt.
Stretch the leg out. Commodores
first time out of the half.
The timeout with 3:46 to go in the quarter. Dogs 28, Vanderbilt 6. Timeout in the 3rd. Back in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Back here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth at Sanford Stadium, we're going to watch Rodrigo Blankenship try a 53-yard field goal. Southwest Airlines has low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. And now the center judge backs away from the ball. Nick Moore will snap it. Jake Camarda will hold it. He's kneeled down on the 43-yard line. Far hash kicking right. Blankenship in a quiet Sanford Stadium gets his leg. It's got enough distance. Does it have accuracy? Yeah! 53-yarder. Hot Rod with the pink slippers. 31-6.
And that had room to spare, too.
53 yards for Rodrigo Blankenship. He's now 3 for 4 from 50 yards and longer in his career. And that was another All-State good hands field goal by Georgia. And the drive took 14 plays, 58 yards it covered, 5:16 off the clock. A 53-yard field goal by Blankenship is the scoring play. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you extend the lead a little bit. Champions for Charity game is on every time the Dogs win. Camp Twin Lakes, Salvation Army, and Children's Health Care of Atlanta win, because Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas. Blankenship's kick, just like all of them tonight. High, long, end over end, deep over the back line of the end zone for the touchback. Commodores will have the ball at the 25-yard line. As we check the Comcast Business scoreboard, Mississippi State leads Auburn. They're in the fourth quarter now in Starkville, 16-6. Low scoring defensive struggle in the SEC West. State 16, Auburn 6. Notre Dame leads Virginia Tech at the half, 17-16 in Blacksburg. Ohio State beat Indiana 49-26. Clemson clobbered Wake Forest 63-3. Florida over LSU today 27-19. First and 10 at the 25 for the Commodores. They trail here 31-6. Play clock hits 0. Flags fall. And there's another penalty on the Commodores.
Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's going to be their 9th of the night. They already had a season high for number and penalty yardage. Both teams do, as a matter of fact, Jay Black tells me. That's the 9th penalty on the Commodores, 69 yards in penalties. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day and to your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. Ball back on the 20 after the 5-yard walk-off. First and 15 for Vanderbilt. On the near hash, trying to move to the left. Shermer out of the shotgun. Quick throw. Wow. Lipscomb blown up by J.R. Reed. Oh, here comes a flag.
Well, I cannot believe they're throwing a flag on that. J.R. Reed was going for the football. I'm not sure what they're going to call, but he was going for the football. He's got every right to make that play as well. There was a big collision, but nothing there was harming the receiver.
Yeah, I think the noise is what drew the flag, probably, because you could hear the pads popping all the way up here. The pass was incomplete. They were trying to go to Kalijah Lipscomb, who's been very quiet tonight.
Personal foul, targeted.
Here we go again.
Defense, number 32, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The previous play is under further review.
Well, they have to look at it and see if it was indeed targeting. And while this play is under review, we'll tell you that Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99 today with the code FOOTBALL at barbasol.com. Game on.
There's no way that one stands. He was going for the football.
He didn't launch. He didn't hit with the crown.
His chest made contact.
Down to the sidelines we go. Chuck Dowdle, Cook's Pest Control. Chuck?
Scott, you recall when we went over to Birmingham for that little seminar with the officials, they said that they always wanted to err on the side of player safety.
Right.
Because what they can do is they can throw that flag. It's real easy for it to be reviewed and picked up and said, okay, look, it wasn't targeting. So that's what they're doing. They're just erring on the side of player safety here, but it appears certainly that there was not targeting on that, and even if it was, it certainly wasn't number 32.
Well, we've had it overturned on Vanderbilt earlier on a hit on Justin Fields. They threw the flag, called it targeting. They went to the review, went through the process and overturned it. There was no targeting on the play, they determined. Now here's Hubert Owens with the call here. They threw the flag on J.R. Reed. And is it going to be a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Here's Hubert Owens, the referee.
After review, there is no targeting on the play. It'll be second down. Number 32 can remain in the game.
Number 32. It's 32 again. Maybe one of the referees has been targeted because he can't get the number right. But he said he's got it.
He did say he's got it. Even after the replay, they got the number wrong.
All right, so J.R. Reed's the guy in question there, and there is no question. It was a good defensive play, broke up the pass, and it'll be second down and 15 for the Commodores. Ball's on their own 20-yard line. 3:37 to go in the third quarter. This is a long game tonight. Lots of penalties, lots of stoppages. We had some injuries in the first half. Shermer in the shotgun on his 12, bounces in the pocket. Soft lob over the line of scrimmage on a short cross. He makes the catch at the 25. That's Blassingame out of the backfield. Stopped by Monty Rice and Brenton Cox for the Georgia defense. Ball's at the 27. And the gain was 7. It'll be third down and some work to do for the Commodore offense.
Good job by the Dogs there, playing in a soft zone, keeping that throw and forcing that throw in front of them for them to come up and make the tackle.
Elijah Lipscomb, the SEC's leading receiver, coming in with 43 catches, has only 2 grabs tonight for 16 yards for Vanderbilt. Been a non-factor. Shermer waits for the snap with 3 seconds on the play clock. Throws in a crowded pocket and overthrows his target. That's Pierce. Chris Pierce on the far side, covered tightly by the freshman Tyson Campbell in front of the Commodores sideline. Pass is incomplete. Jawan Taylor had good pressure right up in the face of Kyle Shermer. As I said, that pocket was getting crowded in there, and he just flung it out of there to hope that his guy could catch it, but he had too much juice on it.
Little X stunt there by the Georgia linebackers where they cross on their blitz to create that pressure.
Commodores have their punt team on the field with 2:47 to go in the third quarter, and Mecole Hardman back at the 30. See if he gets a chance to return one. Here's Parker Tomey. Right-footed kicker will launch this one. Wobbly spiral, backing Mecole up to the 22, to the 25, between the hashes 30, to the 40, 45, runs into traffic there. But Georgia will have very good field position at the 44.5, maybe the 45-yard line. Elijah Hamilton on the tackle for the Commodores. A 45-yard punt, but a 23-yard return. So the net heavily in favor of Georgia there. They put the ball down on the 44-yard line. As we come to you from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here in the Larry Munson broadcast suite. It was a 55-yard punt correction. And Justin Fields back in the game at quarterback for the Dogs. 1st and 10 from our 44-yard line. Georgia 31, Vanderbilt 6. Fields under center. Handoff. Swift. Big hole right side. 50 breaks a tackle. 44 breaks a tackle. 35 being wrapped up. They twist him forward to the 32-yard line.
DeAndre Swift looked as good as he's looked all year long, running right behind Justin Schaefer and Isaiah Wilson there. Found a little bit of crease, but the way he is running, his explosiveness and quickness, looks like he looked last year.
That was a 24-yard run by Swift. The stop was made by Jawan Williams, the cornerback. 1st and 10, Dogs at the Commodore 32-yard line. Swift's longest run of the season. Godwin comes in motion from the left side. Fake it to Swift. He'll block Fields in the pocket, moving right, throwing on the run. There's Godwin. He reaches and grabs. Did he make the catch? Yeah, they're saying the 12.
Boy, great job.
He's got some magic feet if he caught that ball.
Does he ever? It's like he just elongated himself on the sideline to go up and grab that and keep his feet on the ground.
What did Forrest Gump say? These are my magic shoes. That might be his magic shoes right there on the sideline.
Boy, what
right
a
around
catch.
the 12-yard line. Holy cow. 1st and goal for the Dog, or 1st and 10 rather, at the 12. Gain was 20. And now we're going to get a review.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass for a first down. The previous play is under further review. Vanderbilt is not charged with a timeout.
Well, Dog fans, as Hubert Owens jogs back down to the other end of the field, Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99. You know, you could use that, Chris. You got that full beard going. You could use it. $6.99 for the Shave Club. Today, $6.99 with the code football at barbasol.com. So check it out. He looks like Ender Inciarte, doesn't he?
A little.
We should post a picture of you, send it out on social, and take a vote. Ender Inciarte or Chris Schiavone. All right, this is time for our third quarter recap presented by Ag South and Ag Georgia Farm Credit. Loans for land and farm. And the Dogs have had a pretty good third quarter.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Sweet. Terry Godwin with another magical catch. Got the feet inbounds at the 12-yard line. Dogs had a 21-6 lead at halftime. Georgia's put 10 more points on the board here in the third quarter, rather. DeAndre Swift with a 35-yard pass reception from Jake Fromm for a touchdown, and then Rodrigo Blankenship with a 53-yard field goal. And the Dogs threatening to score more here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the Commodore 12 as we resume play. Minute 24, clock ticking here in quarter number 3. Fields is the quarterback, and Harrion is in the ball game. Bryan gets the carry, tucks it in his right arm, runs past the 10, down to the 5. Pile moving. Get him in there. Get him in the end zone. Ooh, did the ball come out? The beanbag came out. Georgia says touchdown. No sign yet from the officials. Now there's the sign. Touchdown.
Well, Brian Harrion ran that football, but I think you have to credit the entire offensive line with the touchdown.
Ruling on the field was a fumble by Georgia, recovered by Georgia in the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, Harrion ended up with the football. He was the ball carrier. Did he recover his own fumble? He recovered the own fumble. Apparently, they were standing him up, and our linemen were just driving in from behind. Wow, that ball stood out for a long time. And Harrion, it came out on the goal line, sat there, nobody touched it, and then Harrion got an arm on it and pulled it into his body.
Boy, it sure did. It just dropped right on the goal line.
Odangbo Z was just standing right above it. Didn't even look down.
Nobody knew it was even out.
Had no idea it was down there.
And then it just rolled right into Brian Harrion's arms.
And then the offensive linemen felt like they had scored that touchdown as they were the ones driving the pile from behind. And the touchdown will go on the board, and the extra point try is on the way. There's the snap and the hold. Now flags down on the extra point. Oh, my goodness. Well, the Georgia touchdown sponsored by Southwest Airlines.
Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, but redo the try.
Southwest Airlines has low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love, so they'll back up Blankenship 5 yards. He'll have to kick from the 15 to be a 25-yard extra point try. Try to make it 38-6 with 64 seconds to go in the third quarter. We're 64 seconds away from the moment I think a lot of folks are sticking around for, when we light up Sanford to start the fourth quarter. We haven't had a chance to do that all season long. The snap and the hold. The kick is away. The kick is good as Blankenship continues to add to his school record for consecutive extra points. He's over 120 and counting. 38-6 is our new score. Georgia leads. And fans, you're dedicated to your team, and Rocket Mortgage is dedicated to you, because when it comes to buying a home, the right way should be the only way. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics. So despite that run by Brian Harrion, the official score on the stat sheet says a 0-yard fumble return touchdown by Brian Harrion. How many of those are we going to have this year? Yeah, the game against South Carolina, Baker has that deal on the interception. Dropped the ball at the 1, and Taylor ends up getting a touchdown on a 1-yard fumble return.
We've got the Isaac Nauta play from last week. But he actually ran at 41 yards, but gets credited with a 31-yard touchdown.
That was a 56-yard drive in 3 plays. Took a minute 30 off the clock, and Harrion got the touchdown with the help of his offensive lineman. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. 38-6 as Blankenship kicks it away again. Still got some strength in that leg. He bangs it deep over the right end zone for the touchback. And the Commodores will get it with 1:04 to go in the third quarter. And 1st and 10 at the 25 as we check the Comcast Business scoreboard. Kentucky, number 13 in the land, undefeated at 5-0, going into College Station. And they are going to overtime, tied at 14, Texas A&M and Kentucky. Here it's 38-6. No such overtime threat at this point. We've got 16 minutes still to play, however, all of the fourth quarter, and 1:04 to go here in the third. Commodores on the 25. They haven't found their way into the end zone tonight. Let's hope the Dogs can keep it that way. They'll run it with Keyshawn Vaughn, the junior running back from Nashville. Tries to veer out to the right by the nose man Julian Rochester and the linebacker Jawan Taylor at the 24-yard line, it looks like. No, they're going to put it up closer to the 27.
Now, prior to that run, Keyshawn Vaughn averaging 10.4 yards per carry this evening.
His gain was 2 that time. Second down and 8. Shermer in the shotgun, claps his hands, gets the snap, throws it over the middle. Caught by Lipscomb. He's clobbered crossing the middle. Tate Crowder, the former running back, likes that linebacker spot because he gets to hit people.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
That was Trey Ellis, excuse me, not Lipscomb. That was Ellis.
And when Crowder comes up and makes a tackle, he does it with some vengeance.
That's a 5-yard gain. Third down and a couple for Vanderbilt. From the 28, Shermer throws, pass broken up at the 45-yard line. Tried to go to the tight end Pinckney. Richard LeCount, the safety from Riceboro, swats it down, incomplete, stripped it out of the hands of Pinckney, and it's going to be 4th down. And that's going to be, well, there's 1 second left. 1 second left on the on Lipscomb. That was Ellis.
And when Crowder comes up and makes a tackle, he does it with some vengeance.
That's a 5-yard gain. Third down and a couple for Vanderbilt. From the 28, Shermer throws, pass broken up at the 45-yard line. Tried to go to the tight end Pinckney. Richard LeCount, the safety from Riceboro, swats it down, incomplete, stripped it out of the hands of Pinckney, and it's going to be 4th down. And that's going to be, well, there's 1 second left. 1 second left on the clock in the third quarter. The folks are
about that. It's a proud football team playing with an awful lot of momentum. Obviously, losing to Florida this week, they're going to have their back up against the wall. You know we're going to get their best.
Chuck Dowdle is on the sidelines. I don't want to leave Chuck out of the mix tonight. Dogs really racked it up and took solid control of this football game, Z, in the third quarter. 219 yards of offense in the third quarter, only 36 for Vanderbilt. We did what they did to us in the first half, which was keep the ball away from them a lot and really produce something with it.
Yeah, boy, did we ever. And it really started with last couple of drives there in the first half. We have the great 2-minute drill to put points on the board, moves it to 21-6, and then just took the game over in the third quarter.
Dogs on our own 22. Fields is the quarterback. Hand off to Cook. Cook with a lot of running space. Oh, he's crossing midfield. He's going to go. Look at the distance. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown. James Cook, the freshman from Miami, just took it almost the full length of the field. 78 yards for the touchdown.
Boy, he tight-roped the sideline. I'm not sure how he stayed in bounds. Great blocks there by Cade Mays. A great block downfield. I'm not sure who that was, that receiver, but a couple of fantastic blocks in the tightrope by James Cook. Those explosive runs that we haven't seen a bunch of. We got one there.
No Vanderbilt defender even closed on James Cook. He was making distance between himself and the defense in that run up the near sideline.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Well, they're going to go back to what you were saying, Z, is he was tight-roping. They're going to see if he stepped out of bounds at some point on that 78-yard run. And this will take us right back to Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99 with the code FOOTBALL at Barbasol.com. Game on.
And we just saw a replay. It looks like he stepped out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Rats. And that was Godwin downfield blocking. Terry trying to give him just enough of a crease to get by, but you're right. He did step out of bounds. Well, it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it?
Boy, was it ever. Just to see his speed was
yes.
something else.
He only stepped out with that one foot, though, didn't he? That other foot came back inbounds. I mean, it's close. It looks like he hits the chalk.
Well, and it was his heel that looked like it hit it.
Right there, the right foot, as we look at the replay.
I'm telling you,
Well,
I think he stepped out of bounds, but it's tight.
I mean, they could zoom in on that shot. We're looking on the big board right now. It looks clearly to me, anyway, like half his foot might be out of bounds on the white on the Georgia sideline. Texas A&M wins in overtime. Hubert Owens with the explanation. We hope. No, he's going to put the headphones back on. He had taken off the headset, handed it back to Derek Floyd down there, who's the SEC official, and then he took them back and put them back on for further instructions. Replay booth official tonight is Steve Landis up here in the booth, and then the collaborative effort is going on over in Birmingham with 3 officials over there. Here's Hubert Owens with the call.
After review, the ruling is that the ball carrier stepped out of bounds at the minus 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Georgia. Please reset the game clock to 14 minutes, 55 seconds.
Well, it wasn't a 78-yard touchdown run after all. It was a 22-yard run to the 44. Not quite as fun, but still productive.
Boy, but you just see the talent and the speed that young man has got. He got into the open, he left everybody in a vapor trail.
He did. You're right. Like I said, nobody closed on
him.
I mean, it was not even close by the time he got to the end zone. All right, I formation. Fields is the quarterback. And they got Ford in there as a fullback, the tight end. Here's Cook again with another try. Runs straight up the middle this time behind blocking from Hill and others, and into Commodore territory at the 45.5. Dimitri Moore, the linebacker, had to make the stop. But he'll get about 10 yards on that run and a first down as the Dogs start to wear down Vanderbilt here with 14:23 to go. Clock ticking. Dogs 38, Commodores 6. They're on the Vanderbilt 45. Here's Cook again, angling to the left. Outside at left tackle. He's going to be stopped at the 41 by Jordan Griffin, the inside linebacker from Tampa, Florida, a senior, leading tackler for the Commodores so far this season. And he got 4 more to the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 6 for the Dogs.
Dogs taking their time now, trying to chew up some clock. We've seen this throughout the year. We saw it all of last year. Turn it over to your offensive line in the 4th quarter and just wear them down.
Out of the eye, Luke Ford, the tight end, is the fullback. Cook is the tail. Fields takes the snap, hands off to Cook. He covers the ball, breaks through the hole, tries to get outside the numbers near side. Outside the 30, down to the 26 before they sling him down. Ladarius Wiley, Juwan Williams. He got into the secondary, getting into that second level, but Cade Mays opened up a little bit of a crease for Cook, and he hit it pretty fast down to the 27-yard line, a gain of 14.
Boy, did he ever. Nice lead block there by Ford as well.
Our offensive line is Wilson and Schaefer, Jamari Salyer, Trey Hill, and Cade Mays. Not how we started the game, but showing off some of our depth at this point. Solomon Kinley was injured in the first half, has not returned. Here's Cook again, getting another carry. Kind of stutter steps and jitters a little bit in the backfield and finally pokes his head down inside the 25-yard line to the 24. Birchmeyer, the middleman of that defensive front for the Commodores, makes the stop after a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 from the 24-yard line.
And they might be telling Justin Fields to hand that football off no matter what. He's had a couple of options there that he could have pulled it and run for days.
Mays comes out of the ball game at left tackle. Kendall Baker comes in, and now Matthew Downing, the number 3 man, is in at quarterback. Walk on from Alpharetta. I formation. Prather Hudson is the tail. He'll get the carry. runs straight ahead. They drive the pile down inside the 20, maybe to the 18-yard line. Hudson with his first carry of the night. And the results are still good in the positive way. Close to a first down, but not quite. About third and a yard and a half. Down to the 18-yard line. That was a 6-yard run by Hudson, who's from Columbus, Georgia.
This offensive line, even with reserves, just taking this football game over, breaking the will of the Vandy defense.
Dog fans starting to stream out of Sanford Stadium after the light-up fourth quarter. Start to head for the exits. It's kind of quiet in here. Need some noise. Play fake Downing. Pressured. Throws on the run. Caught by Jackson Harris, the tight end, at the 15. He just snatched that thing right out of the air. He angles to the right. Hit low out of bounds at the 5 or 6 yard line. Donovan Sheffield made the tackle. But Jackson Harris with his first catch this season down to the 6. That was a good catch and run by the veteran tight end.
And it was a good throw by Downing, too. Had a Commodore right in his face. Maybe even grabbed his face mask, but able to deliver that one where Jackson Harris could catch it and run after it.
12-yard gain, first and goal Dogs on the Commodore 6. Far hash moving left. James Cook back in. Downing will remain the quarterback. Matt Landers is in at a receiver spot. He's in tight on the right edge. Trey Blunt is in tight on the left edge. Out of the eye. Cook takes the handoff. They hit him at the 6. Kind of pull his arm away. Hangs onto the football and dips his shoulder and drives to the 4. Owen Condon has checked into the ball game as well, one of our freshman offensive linemen. Well, we're getting everybody in the game now. The gain was a couple to the 4. Second down and goal from the Commodore 4-yard line. Clock ticking at 10:23. Cook getting winded, got his hands on his hips. He's done a lot of the heavy carrying, heavy lifting on this possession. Again, Matthew Downing is the quarterback.
Vanderbilt.
And the Commodores will ask for time and get
out of the half.
10:15 to go in the game. Georgia 38-6, leading this contest over Vanderbilt, but threatening more. Dogs will be second and goal from the 4 here from the Piedmont Healthcare Radio booth in the Munson broadcast suite, along with Eric Zier. Scott Howard with you. Georgia leads at 38-6. The Dogs are working in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Experience the compact utility tractors that will take you through the season strong. Inside the 5 at the 4.5. Dogs huddle up at the 10. Clock at 10:15. Matthew Downing is in at quarterback. He's the third quarterback used by the Bulldogs tonight. And Cook is offset to his left in the backfield. Downing works out of the shotgun. Harris moves from left to right at tight end. Snap is high, knocked to the ground, and Downing catches it on the bounce and then recovers it tumbling down back at the 11-yard line on the far side of the field. He and Cook may have bumped into each other. The snap was a little bit high. Downing did a good job to get his hands on it. The ball hit the turf, bounced right back to him, but we lose yardage back to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, Cook tried to get his hand in there a little bit, I think trying to help out, and actually knocked the ball out of Downing's hands.
The center is Trey Hill. The guards are Schaefer and Salyer. And then the tackles are Baker and Condon. Here's Downing in the shotgun. James Cook offset to his right. Shotgun snap. Downing to throw. Fade route. Left corner. Caught but out of bounds, I think. Yeah, and into the hedge. And almost threw it over the hedge. Oh, my goodness. Kieris Jackson caught the ball, but almost came through the hedge on this near side. Well, the fans there exiting the stadium got a bit of a thrill because all of a sudden here comes this big red helmet flying through the bushes. They may not like me saying bushes. The hallowed hedges, excuse me.
Good correction there.
Yes.
Good correction.
I'm glad. You know, there's a fence that runs between the hedges there. I hope Kieris knew that when he dove into that. Yeah, he found out in a hurry because that fence, that chain link fence, which is covered up. Yeah, it caught him around the hips. So we're going to have to try a field goal now as the pass was incomplete. He was out of bounds when he caught it. From the far hash kicking to the left, this will be a 28-yard try for Rodrigo Blankenship. The kick is high and in the air and in the net. It's good. Another field goal by Blankenship. That's another All-State good hands field goal, and it puts Georgia over 40 once again this season. It's Georgia 41 and Vanderbilt 6. 9:22 to play in the ball game. It's all Bulldogs tonight on Homecoming on the Georgia Bulldogs.
Coach Kirby Smart here. Today's broadcast is live from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth.
Dog fans, whether your favorite seat is right on the 50-yard line or comes with a bird's eye view, head to StubHub, grab 100% verified tickets so you know you'll get in. StubHub's been getting fans into the game for over 17 years and is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Georgia Bulldogs. StubHub, be there. Dogs scoring drive, 11 plays, 67 yards, 5:38 off the clock. The points from the leg of Rodrigo Blankenship once again, 28-yard field goal. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. 41-6. Dogs laying it on thick and heavy on the Vanderbilt Commodores on homecoming night as Blankenship's kick sails into the end zone over the back line again for a touchback. And the Commodores will trudge out once again to the 25, 1st and 10. They'll have it, and you can schedule your next visit with a new online booking tool at piedmont.org/UGA. Piedmont Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. 9:22 remaining. 41-6 Dogs. Shermer in the shotgun. Vanderbilt quarterback going to hand it off to Vaughn. Vaughn gets by Malik Herring, who was being blocked on this near edge, and up to the 30, almost to the 30, about a 4-yard run to the 29 is where they'll spot it. And let's see, we got a lot of substitutions on defense. We've got Mikhail Carter in there, big Jordan Davis back in the ball game, Malik Herring, Robert Beal at one of the linebackers, William Poole's in there as one of the secondary men, Webb's at one corner, Eric Stokes at a corner, Quay Walker's a linebacker, Channing Tyndall is a linebacker. 2nd and 6 rather for the Commodores from their 29. Trying to move to the right, working from the near hash. Not much pressure on Shermer. Got plenty of time to throw, and he does throw, and the pass is caught by Chris Pierce at the 34. Webb makes the tackle for the Georgia defense. And it's not quite a first down, but it's 3rd and 1.
Well, and for this Vandy offense, it held the ball almost 20 minutes in the first half. This is unfamiliar territory being on the field. Time of possession here in the second half, right around the 5-minute mark.
That was a 5-yard gain on that pass from Shermer. 3rd and 1 from the 34-yard line of Vanderbilt. Commodore stacked 3 men out to the left, 2 to the right. They go with an empty set. Shotgun snap. Shermer with time had a man in his face coming up the middle of the line, but he gets the pass off and completes it to C.J. Bowler, the freshman receiver. Runs from right to left on a crossing route, makes the catch, and is stopped by Otis Reese at the 45-yard line. And the gain is 11 and a first down for the Commodores. 7.5 minutes to go. Vanderbilt has been kept out of the end zone. They have 2 field goals to show for their work tonight. Shermer will hand it off to Wakefield. Jamari Wakefield fights through blockers and tacklers to the 48-yard line. Robert Beal, a redshirt freshman linebacker from Lawrenceville, makes the tackle. And it's a gain of 2.5, almost 3. Commodores 2nd down and 7 coming up. Shermer back to pass with time from the pocket, launches one far sideline. Man-to-man coverage with Stokes, and Donovan Tennyson was the intended target, but Shermer's pass overthrew everyone, incomplete down around the 10-yard line.
Tennyson had about a half a step on Stokes for a split second, and Stokes closed it quickly.
Shermer tonight now 14 of 27, 169 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jake Fromm's night, very impressive, 17 of 23, 276 and 3 touchdowns. And Fields played a pretty good bit too here in the second half. Here's Shermer in the pocket, now flushed out, curls around the other way, being chased by Adam Anderson. He just chunks it over the side, off to the left, over the Vanderbilt bench, out of bounds. And he comes up hobbling a little bit. Adam Anderson gave him good chase, the freshman linebacker. was in hot pursuit.
Boy, did he ever. Fought off a block of the tackle, able to get outside of that, and then still enough juice in the tank to chase Shermer down.
Vanderbilt sends on the punt unit on 4th and 7, and here's Godwin running out there a little bit late to receive the kick. He's going to hover around the 10-yard line. Here's Parker Tomey to kick it again. Sideways punt. Now it flips end over end. Godwin makes the fair catch around the 10 or the 11-yard line on the near hash. 6:37 to go in the ball game. Another timeout here in the fourth quarter. It's Georgia 41, Vanderbilt 6. Back in a moment. Bulldogs Sports Network. Gas. 6:37 to go in the ball game. Georgia 41, Vanderbilt 6. And checking the Comcast Business scoreboard, Mississippi State has defeated Auburn. That's the final now, 23-9. Auburn never got in the end zone. Number 8 Auburn goes down tonight. Number 13 Kentucky loses at Texas A&M in overtime. Number 22 Florida beat number 5 LSU in Gainesville. South Carolina was a last-second winner over Missouri and Columbia, 37-35. Alabama clobbered Arkansas. Those are some of the other SEC scores on the Comcast Business scoreboard. Dogs are on their own 10-yard line here as Matthew Downing remains in at quarterback. Out of the I formation, here's Prather Hudson at right tackle. He will have a little bit of a hole, a little bit of a seam quickly from the 10 to the 20, angling this way, and they wrap him up around the neck to try to sling him out of bounds, twist him out at the 21-yard line on the near sideline, but it's 10.5-yard gain, first down for Hudson out of Columbus, Georgia. Clock continues to move, 6:13 and ticking. Georgia's inflicted quite a bit of damage on the Commodores tonight, 41-6. Owen Condon in at right tackle. Jamari Salyer, Trey Hill, Warren Erickson, Kendall Baker. That's our line. Hill is the center. And Salyer and Erickson are the guards. Condon and Baker the tackles. Here's Hudson again. Starts at left guard and left tackle. Tries to slide to his right towards the middle of the line and gets swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Caleb Peart and Stone Edwards, a reserve defensive lineman, making the tackle for the Vanderbilt defense.
Dogs now up to 560 yards of total offense, 341 through the air, 219 on the ground. Pretty much have done whatever they've wanted to on this side of the football.
Yeah, a sizable chunk of that coming here in the second half, especially in the third quarter. Georgia racked up 219 yards of offense in the third quarter alone. Commodores only had 36. That's when Georgia really took over this ball game. Out of the eye, here's a handoff to Ian Donald McIntyre, his first carry of the night, and he gets around the right edge across the 25 up to the 29-yard line. Alston Orji, a freshman linebacker from Rockwall, Texas, makes the tackle. One of the guys in on the stop in white jerseys, and McIntyre up close to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice sidestep there by McIntyre at the line of scrimmage. Found himself a little bit of running room there.
We've gone deep into the roster here for the final 5 minutes. 4:26, clock moving. Dogs taking their time. Third down and a couple. 3rd and 2 from our 29-yard line. Downing loses the snap. It was high, picks it up, and will fall to the turf back at the 21 or 22-yard line. The snap was high. It was shooting upward as he jumped in the air, kind of slid through his hands as he raised both of his arms to catch the football. Kind of got through his hands, hit the turf. He picks it up on the bounce, but then falls to the turf at the 22. And it'll be 4th down now as the Dogs lose a few yards back to the 22-yard line. They'll have to send on the punt unit with 3:47 to go.
Yeah, it's the second high snap from Trey Hill out of shotgun. That one not terribly high, but right at the top of the helmet, the Downing just couldn't control.
Here's Camarda's kick. Going to be taken by Ellis at the 37. We trip him up there. He falls forward, stumbling, keeping his hand on the turf for balance up to the 42-yard line. I think it was Cook that made the contact. The punt was 41 yards. The return was 7. And we got a flag down at the 22, back on the right end of the field. So
illegal formation.
Just a second.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
So the Commodores will have the ball after a timeout with 3:28 to go. It's 41-6. All Bulldogs tonight here in Athens. Back in a moment on the Bulldogs Sports Network. (41-6) Georgia. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Commodores are on their own 47 to start this possession, and Mo Hassan has come into the ballgame at quarterback. Redshirt sophomore. They'll run it with Josh Crawford, a junior from Montgomery, Alabama. There's a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage. Dogs may have been offsides.
Yeah, that's going to go against Georgia.
Offside, defense number 10, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the 11th penalty on the Dogs tonight. Going to put us right at 100 yards in penalties. That's not going to make people happy.
No, it's not. Definitely something you want to clean up, especially as you get into the real meat of this schedule with LSU coming up, Florida with a big victory today. Auburn on the horizon, Kentucky on the horizon.
Hassan, the quarterback, takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Crawford. He plows straight ahead, close to the Dogs' 46-yard line, gain of a couple. Right now, you can come in and get exceptional offers on all BMWs in stock. Visit one of the Atlanta area BMW centers today for a test drive. Proud to be the official luxury vehicle of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for more offer details. They might be closed right now, so you might want to wait until tomorrow to go find that test drive, but make sure you do that. Commodores on the 46-yard line of Georgia. 2:23, clock moving, 41-6. Dogs have kept the Commodores out of the end zone all night thus far. Snap is a little bit high in the shotgun. Hassan brings it down, hands it to Crawford. Crawford angles to the left behind left tackle and a little bit deeper into Georgia territory to the 42. Malik Herring, Jordan Davis on the stop. Some of the reserves in the ball game for the Dogs defense. Adam Anderson has checked in as well. We got Nate McBride in at one linebacker spot. Channing Tindall, Anderson getting some snaps here late in the ball game in this SEC contest. Shotgun snap. Commodores quarterback clobbered as he throws the football, and it is broken up, but a flag on the back end. That's going to be interference, I guess, on Georgia. Malik Herring just clobbered Hassan, just drove him into the turf as he was throwing the football. Donovan Tennyson was the target, the deep ball down around the Dogs' 10.
Defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And they got the flag on D'Angelo Gibbs.
And Gibbs was in perfect position, just ran right through the Vandy receiver.
Be a 15-yard penalty on the Dogs. Put the ball on the Georgia 28-yard line. You know that Georgia sideline doesn't want to give up a touchdown here. 1:38 to go in the ball game. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side for Vanderbilt. They'll run it with Crawford. Oh, nice move to the outside. He tries to bounce out left, and he runs hard down inside the 20 and takes a couple of red shirts with him across the 20-yard line to the 19. Quick running, fresh legs. McBride and Tindall on the tackle for the Dogs defense. Commodores moving quickly. 80 seconds to go in the game. They want to get once in the end zone. Hassan will hand it off to Crawford. He'll run to the right side this time, but he'll be stopped as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Anderson and McBride and Mikhail Carter on the stop at the 17-yard line. Gain of a couple, but it's a first down for Vanderbilt.
And after that penalty, a little more urgency here. You're right. Vandy playing for pride right now, wants to find pay dirt.
55 seconds to go. They snap it to Hassan. He'll throw it right side, and it's caught by Crawford. He's a one-man gang for Vanderbilt. Tindall missed the first tackle at the 16, but then chases him down at the 12. Adam Anderson helped out on the stop at the 12-yard line. Clock continues to move. 35 seconds to go. Ball is on the Dogs' 12-yard line, maybe the 13. We'll see. Yeah, about the 12 on the near hash. Everybody ready up to the line. There's the snap. Mo Hassan, the reserve quarterback, throws it to the right side, finds one of the tight ends inside the 5 is Sam Dobbs. And they pick up his leg and drive him back. He never went to the turf. He got to the forward progress, might be the 3 or the 4.
It's the third and final timeout of the half.
Commodore stopped
This is a 30-second timeout.
with 14 seconds to go in the ballgame. They want to get in the end zone. They've got a goal to go on the 3-yard line.
Well, no doubt about that. Great open field tackle there by Otis Reese. Was one-on-one and able to lift up Crawford until the cavalry got there.
It's time for our Nissan SAC update. SAC's update brought to you by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway. Not a lot of sacks on either side tonight. Georgia has one, and the Commodores have one. There was a lot of passing, but neither team really got to the quarterback a lot. And our fourth quarter recap is presented by Ag South and Ag Georgia Farm Credit. Loans for land and farm. And the best recap I can tell you is that the Dogs have dominated the second half, and they lead it now 41-6. Georgia scores in the fourth quarter, just a Rodrigo Blankenship of field goal of 28 yards. They capped a 67-yard, 11-play, 5.5-minute drive. And now the Commodores with 14 seconds left, goal to go inside the Georgia 5, trying to get in the end zone for the first time. Hassan with a long fade route to the left is incomplete. Oh, here come flags. He threw it behind the intended target. And it was Poole in coverage in that far left corner, trying to go to Donovan Tennyson.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 31. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball is placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
9 seconds to go. 12 penalties on the night for the Dogs. 114 yards. That's just an ugly number right there.
Well, there's nothing good about that, and a lot of them just bad penalties. That ball was not going to be catchable. We were in good position. No need for it.
They'll run it with Crawford straight ahead. Did he get into the end zone? He runs straight ahead. Touchdown. Yeah, Commodores get there with 2 seconds to go. And the remaining crowd here at Sanford Stadium booing Vanderbilt with 2 seconds as they plow their way with Josh Crawford, a 5'10" junior running back from Montgomery, Alabama. Got the 2-yard run into the end zone. Are they going to look at it again?
They might review this one. It didn't look like he got in. It's the game that won't end.
Come on. Come on. You got to review it. 2 seconds remaining. They're giving the Commodores a TD. Crowd didn't like what they saw on the video replay. It's 41-12. Here's a point after try by Riley Gay. They're going to let it ride. The snap and the hold, the kick high and up between the posts and good. 2 seconds left. Commodores get in the end zone for the first time. It's 41-13.
Well, I think if they would have gone back to review that last one, it would not have been a touchdown.
Really? You think so? I didn't see the replay.
I think so.
Well, they never got the buzz down from the replay booth, I guess. Steve Landis is the replay official. Maybe he left after that fourth quarter light up Sanford thing too. But the Dogs have wrapped up their 6th win of the season. 4th win in the SEC. It's 41-13. Commodores with a 2-yard run by Josh Crawford that capped a 7-play 53-yard drive, took 3:26 off the clock. And Vanderbilt got into the end zone with some of their reserves against some of our reserves. Next up for the Dogs, it'll be LSU a week from today. Be a 3:39, I believe is the official kick time. 2:39 Central Time. We'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the first time in a while, in what, a decade, I think. Take on the LSU Tigers. Yeah. Gay has it teed up on the 35. Here's the kick. High, hanging, end over end. And Kieris Jackson is the deep man. He'll let it land over his head. It bounces off the turf and hits the upright. And it's a dead ball. Touchback. Dogs will have it on the 25. They'll snap it once and we'll head to the house. 2 seconds remain in the ball game. And Georgia has a 41-13 lead. Matthew Downing will finish the game at quarterback for the Dogs. Trey Hill will make that one snap at center. And the Dogs will start planning for LSU. At the 25. Victory formation for the Dogs. There's the snap. Downing takes it, touches a knee. That's over Vanderbilt. Now Georgia stretches out the series numbers to 44 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. That's the last 51 games. Now Georgia dominating this series in terms of wins and losses. They do so tonight, 41-13, our final from Sanford Stadium. Stay tuned now for our post-game coverage. Neil Hondo Williamson and the rest of us will be standing by with you when we come back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.